Psalm 78 verse 1.
Psalm 78 verse 1.
Give ear, all my people, to my laws. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. Joshua chapter 6 verse 4. Hear, O Jacob, a higher power is one power. Exodus chapter 20 verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day. Remember. Thus says a higher. Thus says the King of Judah. Thus says the King of Jacob. Thus said, I am that I am. Remember the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day. To keep it holy. So be it. Greetings from the bride of Canaan unto the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, of day of the patience of the kingdom of Yeshua, and also of the hope of the resurrection. My salutations with the hands unto the believers, saying Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
And to the non-believers we say repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Good afternoon. Title: Tithes and Offering according to Melchizedek, part 3 on this Sabbath lesson. So if you be the most tithes, we are going to 1 Corinthians 16:7, James chapter 4 verse 14, and Acts 18:21. We'll do our due diligence to conclude the lesson. And if not, we'll move it over to the next festival of the Sabbath. So let the watchmen begin to sound. Without further ado, give me the book of Luke 6:38. Let's start here.
Give, and it shall be given unto you.
What did Yeshua say all the men?
Give, and it shall be given unto you.
What did Yeshua say all the men?
Give, and shall be given unto you.
So Christ said, give, it shall be given unto you, yes.
Good measure,
pressed down,
shake together, and run over.
And what?
And running over.
And running over.
Shall men give unto your
Shall men give into your bosom, yes.
For with the same measure that ye met without.
So Christ said, for with the same measure ye meet without, it shall be measured to you again. So if you check this precept very closely, Christ is talking about the free will offering, correct? So if you look at the precept very carefully in Luke 6:38, Christ went about the free will offering. Christ said, with what measure? Because you may not understand this verse of this precept of 38 in Luke 6. But when you read it all through, because Christ said, for with what measure? That is according to your own measure. It's not an arbitrary measure. It's not a compulsory giving. Is that understood? So Luke 6:38 is not a compulsory giving. Now, why is Christ saying this? Because Christ is taking you back to Exodus 25:1-7, where it's about the free will offering, which we have dealt with in the first and second part. I hope you are following. Because God told Moses to speak to the children of Israel that if any man will give an offering willingly, this is what you shall accept from such person. Is that not so? Then the Most High mentioned the requirement that the Levites will accept from the children of Israel. So that is what Christ is addressing here. Christ said, if you are giving anything willingly, that means according to your own measure. It's not according to the measure, okay, of the offering that is required for the children of Israel. That is arbitrary. Remember, they are tithing, they are offering, and they are vow. Is that understood? They are tithing, there's offering, and there's vow. There's a tithing of 3 years, and there's a tithing of every single year, which we have already explained already, breaking it down to the lowest fragment. And there's a compulsory offering, which you give on the festivals. Is that also? There are offerings you give on the festivals, like the Day of Atonement, the offering that you must give for the cleansing or for the purification rites. Is that also? The offering you give for the ceremonial rite. I hope you are following. Those are the compulsory offering that the children of Israel must bring every single time on the festivals. Then there is free will offering, which is what we are looking at right now, which is what we have addressed also before. I hope you are following. So we also look at the vows, okay, because vow and free will offering are synonymous. They are close, because vow is what you dedicate from your mind, is what you give. Free will offering is what you dedicate from your mind, is what you give. It's just that vow is between you and the Most High. I can say, okay, I make a vow, I will give this portion to my neighbor. I make a vow, I give this portion to this. You understand? I make a vow, I will do this. I make a vow, I will do that. So vow and free will offering, they are synonymous. That's what I'm saying. They are kind of synonymous. They share some things in common. I hope you are following. But free will offering is not compulsory that you give it, but vow is compulsory. But the reason why vow and free will offering is synonymous is that vow, you can choose to give the measure you want to. Free will offering can choose to give the measure you want to. Then also, the only difference there is that vow is compulsory because it comes from your own mouth. So therefore, you must give it. God will not force it out of you. But once you make that vow with the Most High God, it has now become compulsory to you and the Most High. But it's not a requirement from the Most High for that is on a particular day or month or year. You understand what I'm saying? But it now become compulsory when you make it as a dedicated word between you and the Most High. That's when that word begin to become compulsory. So the only marriage between vow and free will offering is that it comes from you yourself according to your own measure. That's just the difference there. Because I can make a vow to the Most High. If the Most High do this for me, you understand what I'm saying? I will do this. That's according to your own measure. Yeah. You set the table and you put the food there. But so God will not force you to give it on a particular day or at a particular. It will not force out of your mouth. So that's what I'm saying. That's the only difference between vow and that's the difference and similarity between vow and free will offerings. As for the tithe, I've already explained. I'm not going back there again. On two parts, I've already explained, break it down. So I'm not even going back. We even break it down in history. Is that understood? All right. So if anyone wants more understanding, go to the lesson. The lesson is here. Read it again. Luke 6:13. Let's go.
Give, and shall be given unto you. Good measure, press down, shake together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet, with that it shall be measured to you again.
Matthew 10:10. Let's go. Now watch this. Watch what Christ says. Read this. Now remember, Christ made it very clear about the tithing, and also, and about the Pharisees' error. Sitting in Moses' seat, which we address in Matthew 23, verse 1 to 2, which we already break down in the book of Malachi, and other precept in Hosea, and so on and so forth. But watch this, read. Watch what Christ says in Matthew 10:10.
Okay, book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 10.
Everything that Christ is saying is going back to the law. Once you are dealing with tithe and offering, you have to deal with the law. If you're not dealing with the law and the prophets, you start saying you will error when it comes to tithe and offering. That's why I'm showing us all the priests. I'm not skipping one rope. I don't skip rope. I will deal with all the precepts that is known to me, and I will address it. Watch this, read Matthew 10:7, so we get understanding.
Matthew 10, verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So Christ said, as you go, preach, saying the kingdom is at hand. Yes.
Heal the
sick.
Cleanse the
lepers.
Raise the dead.
Yes.
Cast out devils.
Yes.
Freely ye have received.
Yes.
Freely give.
So Christ said, freely you have received the gift. So freely give. Yes.
Verse 9. Provide either gold, nor silver,
yes,
nor brass, in your purses.
Now watch what Christ is saying here. Christ said, provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses. Now why is Christ saying this? Because Christ is saying this because the temple has not been destroyed. Christ knew that the temple would be destroyed. That's why when the disciples told Christ in Mount Olive, is that also in Matthew 24, verse 1 to 3, when they came to meet Christ privately, asked him a question, when they showed Christ the beauty of the temple, and Christ said, see you not all these things, not a single stone shall be left upon another that shall not be destroyed. And also, disciples came to ask Christ, when will these things be? And what is the sign of your coming and the end of the world? And also, so before the temple will be destroyed, before the prince of the people, which is Lucifer and his people, the Roman Empire to this day, will come and destroy Jerusalem, like the Luke testimony of Christ's work in Luke 21, verse 20 to 27, where Christ said that when you see Jerusalem encompassed with army, know ye that the desolation thereof is near. So the army there is the Roman Empire. We Satan, the prince of this world, in John 14, verse 30, will leave the Roman Empire, I hope you are following, to come and destroy Jerusalem. That's why the Pharisees confess it in John 11, verse 46 to 48, that if we let Christ continue this work that he's doing, that the Pharisees, that the Romans will come and destroy our place. You see, our place means the sanctuary where they teach, and the city, which is Jerusalem. So the place and the city, or the sanctuary, okay, which is in Daniel 9, verse 24 to 27, okay, will be led by what? By Satan and the Roman Empire. Hope you are following. So the Romans knew this. Christ also knew this based on prophecy. That's why Christ said in Matthew 24, verse 15, and when you shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken about by Daniel the prophet, where is Christ going to? He's going back to the same place I just called now, in Daniel 9, verse 24 to 27, where the people of the prince will come and destroy the city, and the sanctuary is there. The prince here is the devil. The devil is a prince. Angels are called prince. You can see an example in Daniel 12, verse 1, and in Daniel 10, verse 12 to 13, and verse 21. Angels are called prince. That's why Christ called devil a prince. In John 14, verse 30, Christ said, for the prince of this world have nothing in me. Who is the prince of this world? Who is the hem of this world? The devil. That's what. How do you know that Satan is the prince of this world? When you go to the book of Luke, chapter 5, verse 4, where Christ was tempted in the mountain. Not be so. In Luke 4, verse 5 to 6, Christ told Lucifer told Christ, bow down to me, that for unto me everything you see it is given, and to whomsoever I will give it to. Everything all over the world is given to the devil. Not be so. That's why the book of Job 9:24 tells you that the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Devil told Christ, for unto me it is given. All the kingdom of this world, it is given unto me. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. The prince of this world have nothing in me, because Lucifer is the prince of this world. that cover the face of the judges. That's why there's no judgment. That's why a common Christian will say that the law is done away with, because the law teaches judgment. So when you teach that the law is done away with, you are removing judgment from the Most High. And once you remove judgment, that's the result you are seeing happen on the earth today. Wickedness. Because without the law, there is no judgment. And if there's no judgment, there is no order. Anybody can do whatever they like. They'll say, don't judge me. After all, your pastor and my pastor teach the law is done away with. So why are you telling me of judgment? Don't be so. So if there's no judgment, that means there's lawlessness. Because lawlessness from the word law. Lawlessness. So there is less of law in the land. Lawlessness. There is no law. So God's law is done away with. And that law that is teaching you of judgment, right from wrong, good from evil, holy from unholy. You open your unclean mouth and your big mouth and say that God's law is done away with. The law of heaven and earth is done away with. You have forgotten that your element which you are made of is from the heaven and earth. Don't be so. Because in every man there is spirit, and in every man there is dust. Don't be so. So the element of man is of the heaven and the earth. God gave man the law of the heaven and earth to understand your origin, where you came from. Man said, no, we don't want the law of our nature. This is what the fallen angel teach people, and this is the tray, and this is the blueprint that Christians, these neoclassical Christians, are following to this day. That's why you see all over this earth there's wickedness. People's mind is full of wickedness and corruption. You understand? People's mind is buoyed with wickedness and envy and grief and pain. There's no settlement in their heart because of doctrine. False doctrine is the problem. The origin is the problem. You understand what I'm saying? Because now that's same food that they are fed, that same food their parents has inherited, pass that same tradition to their children, the same folklore. That's why you see from generation to generation, the same wickedness continue. Because it starts from the root. The foundation, the cornerstone matters. Parents are not teaching their children their wickedness. Now, children will not grow up in what? In wickedness, and this is what Satan wants. So Christ told his disciples, he says, provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses. Why is Christ saying so? Because if you study the law of the free will offering and of the tithing that you will give, you know so, of tithing that you will give, the tithing of every single year, that's in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22 to 23, which also can see in the book of Tobit, chapter 1, verse 5 to 7. All these things we address. And if you look at the tithe of the 3 years, which is in the same Deuteronomy 14, verse 27 to 28, okay, and it's also in the book of Tobit, chapter 1, verse 5 to 7. The tithing of the 3 years that you tithe, that you give to the Levites, that belongs to them, because the Levite belongs to the Most High God. They have no portion in the land of Israel. So therefore, for them to survive in the land of the promise that God made as a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in Genesis 15 verse 21 to 20, Genesis 15 verse 18 to 21, as a promise, and also you can find in the book of Joshua, the Levites must have a portion, because the animals, the gold, the silver, they are in the earth, not be so. The animal roam on the earth. The gold and the silver and the oil, the good thing that give people riches. The glory of the earth is from the ground, not be so. So if the Levite don't have portion, if the Levite that serve the priest and the priest don't have portion, you understand what I'm saying? How can they be able to survive and eat? Because God said in the book of Numbers chapter 3 that the Levite is my portion. So Levite is my own inheritance. So for the Levite to survive, they will live in your suburbs, in the goodly area. Give to them of whatever you have and bring it to them. So in the book of Numbers 18, in Numbers 18 verse 26 to 29, God said, give it to them. Give to the what? To the Levites. Give to the fatherless. Give to the widows. Give to the poor. Give to the strangers. Not be so. Give to them so that you will have what? They will have what? Inheritance. They will have something to survive. Because God said that the poor will never depart out of the land. In Deuteronomy 15 verse 11. Not be so. So God said the poor will never depart out of the land. So you're supposed to have wisdom and understanding to give. Because the poor will not depart out of the land. So now the priest, the Levites will take out of the portion they receive and give unto the what? To the priest, the sons of Aaron. So of the tithe of the first year, you will eat your own tithe yourself in the place which God shall choose. That's what Deuteronomy 14, verse 22 to 21 to 22 says. And that place which the Most High chooses is where? Jerusalem. That's what the book of Tobit chapter 1, verse 5 to 7 says. Not be so. So you will eat your own tithe. You won't give your tithe to the priest or to the Levite that serve the priest. But the tithing of the 3 years, you will give it to the Levites. That is their own inheritance that they will receive from you. So now, in the requirement of the giving of those tithing that you give, of the tithing of the first year and tithing of the 3, because there are two forms of tithing every single year and tithing of the 3 years. Of those two manner of tithing you give, God stated the requirements in Deuteronomy 26, verse 10 to 12. The requirement that is to be given, it has nothing to do with money. Okay, those things have to do with what? The clothing, the gold, the silver, the bronze. Also of the free will offering in Exodus 25, verse 1 to 7. Don't be so. So now when you read Matthew 10, when Christ said, providing that gold nor silver, gold and silver are among the requirements God accepts for a giving or for an offering, because the word offering is another word substituted for what? For custom or tribute or giving. Because when you offer, you give. Not so, because offering is giving something. Offer this thing to me. Give this thing to me. So synonymously, it's also what? Giving, offer, custom, tributes. They share the same words, synonymous in meaning. So Christ telling disciples after the manner of the law, before Jerusalem will be destroyed, before the destruction, you are worthy of your meat, because that's the duty. That's the right given to what? Teachers that teach. Understand that the disciples may not have come from the tribe of Levi. You understand what I'm saying? But of the free will offering that is to be given, you understand? Of the free will offering that's to be given, you understand what I'm saying? And also of the tithing of every single year. And of the tithing of every 3 years, because remember, the tithing every 3 years is to be given. The one that you will eat by yourself every single year, you also share to the poor. Not be so. The tithing that you do not give to the priest and to the Levite, you must also share it with the poor, because it's a tithing that you will eat of your own. Then when you eat of your own, those that don't have the money or the financial background to eat and celebrate that feast of the tithing, okay, you will not do a share of what you have with them. Now remember, God says that if the way be too far from you, because remember God said in the place which He has choose. So remember, Jerusalem, peacefully founded. Jerusalem is in where? Namibia. That is southeast Namibia. That's where Jerusalem is. So God said that if the way be too far from you to go and keep the feast there, convert those offering that you will give animals. It must be food, either chicken, either goat, either ram or whatsoever, because it's a feast, so you must eat something. You start saying that tithing of every single year is a feast. So God said, convert that food into currency. So once you convert into currency, go to the place where He has chosen. That place is in Deuteronomy 14, verse 21 to 27. So, and buy it for whatsoever your soul lost after. And once you do that, share it also among the poor and among the needy. That's what the Most High said. Not be so. You must share that tithing among the poor and among the needy. Is that understood? And you must remember, of this tithing is not a 10%. It's a tithing of whatsoever you have, because we know that the tithing is 10%, and also which we have confirmed in the book of Genesis 14, verse 18 to 20, and also in Genesis 28, verse 20 to 22. There are so much precept that we look at to confirm the tenth of the tithing. It's also found in the book of Maccabees. Okay, if you go to the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees 10 is there. First Maccabees 11 is there. Okay, concerning the tithing of 10%. But once it comes to the tithing that you will eat yourself, that you will not give to the Levites and to the priests, there is no percentage to what you give in that. The 10% only fall on the tithing of the 3 years that you will give to the Levites, that the Levite will not give to the priests, because the Levite you must give 10% to the priests. Is that also? That's what God said. That's what God said in Numbers 18, verse 24 to 27. So that's the 10% there. But the tithing of what you will eat every single year, there is no measure of what you will give there. So in Matthew chapter 10, verse 9, where Christ said, providing that gold nor silver, understand therefore that the apostles left their work that they are doing and follow Christ to preach the gospel. So the apostles fell among the poor of the category, because whereby you don't have any means of income, what happened to you? We were able to eat. Yeah, no, you'll be able to eat. So the disciples now fall among the category of the poor, and God said the poor will not depart out of the land in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. Okay, remember Christ is still dealing with the law. Remember Christ prophesied about the prince and the people destroying Jerusalem. But before it is destroyed, okay, the ordinances of giving of the tithes still continue, because the Pharisees is still sitting in Moses' seat in Matthew 23, verse 1 to 3. That's why Christ was condemning them and trying to convert them. Do do the needful, and the city and the sanctuary will not be destroyed, and the tithe and the offering will still continue to this day. Okay, according to the tithing of the 1 year and of the 3 years, and according to the offering of the free will offering and the compulsory offering of the festivals, and according to the vow that you made with the Most High God. That's what Christ was coming to tell the Pharisees that sat in Moses' seat, which some of them come from the tribe of Levi. Okay, and Christ also was reproving, okay, the scribes and also the high priests, which were of the tribes of which were of the lineage of Aaron, but we are not of the sons of Zadok. Remember, Zadok is of the lineage of Aaron, of the priest, because the office of the priest was given to who? Aaron and sons, which is in Exodus 29 verse 9. But among the sons of Aaron, many of them forsake the Most High God. It was only Zadok, okay, in the book of 1 Kings chapter 1 verse 32, okay, that was with David. And his seed after him, okay, and his seed after him that kept the order of the teachings. But Zadok and his children begin to face persecution. So during the time of Christ, they could not continue, okay, they could not continue and synchronize themselves with the Pharisees, because the Pharisees had the major dominance of the teachings during the time of Christ. So therefore, the sons of Zadok during the time of Christ separate themselves. Is that understood? They separate themselves, because the word consecrate means separate, because the priests, sons of Aaron, were consecrated for the service of the Most High God. So therefore, the Pharisees, the sons of Zadok of the lineage of Aaron, separated themselves from the Pharisees, because the Pharisees were not following the true order of Moses, because the Pharisees were dancing according to the music of the Romans. They were seeking favor from the Romans, because the Romans was ruling our land. We were in captivity back then, as it's written in the book of Luke 3 verse 1, Luke 2 verse 1. Christ was born in captivity, not be so. During the time of Augustus Caesar, in Luke 2 verse 1, when he made a decree that all the whole world should be taxed, because he was the king, he was the last beast, he was the last kingdom ruling over the whole world. It was the people under the priest of Lucifer that would destroy the city and the place that the Pharisees was fearing, that the Pharisees was afraid of in John 11 verse 46 to 48, because the Pharisees were afraid that the Romans would destroy the place and the city. That's what they said in John 11 verse 46 to 47, fulfilling Daniel 9 verse 24 to 27. I hope you're following. That's what Christ was telling the disciples in Matthew 24 verse 15. When you shall see the abomination of desolation, because there will be an abomination that will make the land desolate, because Judah, Benjamin, Levi was the last kingdom that was left. Ephraim has already gone into captivity during the time of Salmanassar. Not be so, because Salmanassar, king of Assyria, took them into captivity. Not be so, they took Ephraim into captivity. So Judah was the last kingdom left. So-called Southern kingdom was the last kingdom left that the Most High God was trying to save. And he sent Christ to save the kingdom, the hem of the kingdom, the hem of all the tribes. But they will not listen. I hope you're following. So therefore, when it comes to tithes and offering, Christ was telling the disciples that, look, you people fall among the category of the poor in their land, because now I told you, leave your what? Leave your nets, leave your nets, Levi or Matthew, leave your custom duty that you did to work to earn your ends meet. Now follow me, not be so. So therefore, the apostles will now fall, because they are Israelites. So therefore, they will now fall among the category of the poor in the land. Now, according to the law, the offering, the free will offering that is given, not be so, and the tithing that you will share with your neighbor of the poor of the land. Those portions will now fall among the words, will now fall to the words, to the disciples of Christ, because now they've now fall among the poor of the land. Because according to the law and the prophets, the poor must enjoy of the benefit of your riches. So Christ said, don't worry. After all, he's here in the law. Provide neither pause. Let's go. Let's go.
Provide neither gold.
So Christ said, provide neither gold,
nor silver,
yes, nor silver, after the manner of the offering given in the law. Read.
Nor brass,
yes. So these are the requirements that God has set for an offering. That's the free offering you give. Let's go. So provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, yes.
Nor bags for your journey.
Nor bags, nor scrip, same thing for your journey, yes.
Neither two coats. Neither shoes. Because why is Christ saying don't provide this thing for yourself? Because Christ understood the law. Christ is teaching disciples according to the law of tithes and offering. Listen very carefully. This is a strong meat lesson. If you don't understand the law, you can see all this nonsense that they are teaching in all these Christian churches concerning tithe and offering. They are just deceiving you.
They are just deceiving you. Pastor don't know what they are saying. Telling you that you must pay your tithe every single month. If you don't pay your, God saying in the book of Malachi 3 verse 8. Open up, what do you know about Malachi 3 verse 8? Because if you are dealing with the book of Malachi concerning tithing, you should have understand that God told Malachi about, remember you the law of Moses. Did God tell Malachi that? So why do you theologians forget the law of Moses that God told Malachi? So they will deal with Malachi 3, but they do not deal with Malachi 4. Because in Malachi 4, verse 4 to 5, God told Malachi to tell the children of Israel, of which these sort of pastors today are. Remember you the law of Moses. Now, pastors today are teaching the law of Moses is done away with. But now, when it comes to their pause and their gain and their fitting lucre and their loss, they will not remember Moses concerning money concerning their own stupid loss and wicked lust. This is exactly why Christ was repeating the Pharisees in Matthew 23 verse 23, where Christ says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes and mint and anise and coming, and you have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy and faith, which thing ought you to have done, and not to leave all that undone. That's why Malachi chapter 2 verse 7 to 9 says that the priests are partial in the Most High's law, because they omit many things in the law. They only deal with what suits them and please them. That's why Christ said in the book of Matthew chapter 15 verse 3 to 4, Christ said that you have made the law of the Most High void by your own tradition. That's why Christ told the children of Israel that look, all that the Pharisees tell you to do it, because the Pharisees teach you some things out of the law of Moses. Do it, but don't do as they do, because they say and they do not. So don't look at them and follow their ways, because they're not sincere in the law. The Pharisees are full of eye service. As a matter of fact, your theologians or pastors today are 10 times worse than the Pharisees. Even the Pharisees is still better, because the Pharisees back then still keep Sabbath. Not be so. They still keep Sabbath. They still keep the holy days, but they don't teach the fullness of it. That was their problem. But today Christians are 10 times worse. Remember, once you are dealing with Matthew 24, you are dealing with the end. Matthew 24, Luke 21 verse 20, you are dealing with the end. So Christ said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. The word abound means to be full, and your pastors today are 10 times worse than the Pharisees, because sin has increased, sin has full. Another word for iniquity is sin. So Christ said, sin will increase, sin will abound, iniquity will abound, iniquity will become full. That's what Christ was telling the Pharisees. Once you are dealing with Matthew 20, that's what Christ was telling his disciples. Once you are dealing with Matthew 24 and Luke 21, you are dealing with the end. So from the time of the Pharisees to this day, sin has increased, sin has abound, and people have now forsaken the law. This time around, they are even 10 times worse than the Pharisees, because your theologians today, they are partial in the Most High's law. They don't understand anything. They don't keep Sabbath. They don't keep any of the festivals in Leviticus 23. They don't do any of the feast days that they must give to the Israelites. And they are forgotten that the kingdom is built on the Israelites. So if you are trying to serve the true living God, if you don't serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're not serving the true God. And if you say you are serving God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're supposed to keep the commandment given to them. Not be so. So why are you not keeping the commandment given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And you say you're serving the true God. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, yes.
Neither bags for your journey, neither two coats,
neither bag for your journey, neither two coats, yes.
neither shoes,
yes.
nor yet staff. For the workman is worthy of his meat.
Exactly. So Christ said, for the workman is worthy of his meat. So you don't provide those things, because according to the law, okay, as long as you are doing the service of the Most High God, okay, you saying you are worthy of your meat. As long as you are teaching the service of God, you are worthy of your meat. As long as the law still stands, okay, and you fall among the poor of the category, you are worthy to receive of anything, because it behooves the children of Israel to receive of those things. So you are worthy of it, because the apostles are doing the service, okay, that the Levites and the priests ought to do in righteousness. So therefore, you don't need to stress yourself to work. How Christ is telling them? Luke 22 verse 37. Let's go.
And he said unto them,
when
I sent you without purse,
yes,
or bag.
Now Christ said, when I sent you initially in Matthew chapter 10, and also in the book of Luke, what's in Matthew 10 is in Luke 10 also too. When I sent you without purse, let's go.
Without purse,
yes,
and bag,
and scrip, yes,
and shoes, lack ye anything?
So do you lack anything? Read.
And they said nothing.
And they said nothing. So Christ said, when means past tense. Now why is Christ saying this? Because Christ is trying to let disciples know that his city and his sanctuary will soon be destroyed. So therefore, after the manner of the law, where the poor, you understand what I'm saying, where the poor will not, whereby the poor will not depart out of the land, and the poor will not receive of the tithings, okay, of the 3 years, and the tithings of the every single year, and the free will offerings to enjoy the benefit, being poor people. Christ is telling his disciples that look, the time will come that you will not enjoy the benefit of the law anymore because of sin as it will begin to increase. Therefore, the Most High God must destroy the place and the sanctuary. So Christ says, and he said unto them, when I sent you, that when I sent you is the precept we read earlier on. Now watch this. Because I want to show us what is applicable this day. Should we still pay tithes after the manner of the tithing of this every single year and of the 3 years? Because your foolish theologians will tell you to bring your tithe every single month. That's a lie. There is no place in the scripture that tells you to bring tithes every single month. That's a deception. That's a fallacy. That's false doctrine. Okay, the true manner of tithing, according to the law of the Most High God and the prophets, is every single year. There are two forms of tithing. There is tithing every 3 years and tithing every single year, which we have explained in the first part and the second part. And in this part, I've given you a summary of it. Not be so. So there is no precept that says you must bring tithing of the two forms of tithing every single month. That's a lie. That's man's doctrine. That's traditions of men. That's people's philosophy. Like Paul told the Colossians in Colossians 2, verse 8. He said, beware, lest anyone spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. After the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. And Christ is the law, not be so. Christ is the law, because Christ comes in the volume of the book. That's what the book of Psalm 40 verse 6 to 8 says. And David rephrased it and paraphrased it in the book of Hebrews to the Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 6 to 8. Christ comes in the volume of the book, not be so. And Paul told Timotheus in 2 Timothy 3:16 to 17 that all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine. And Christ comes in the volume of the book, and all scripture is given by expression of God. All scripture is not both the law and the prophet. So if Christ comes in the volume of the book, that means Christ himself is the law and the prophet himself. Christ is the whole book. So if you are dealing with Christ, you are dealing with the law. So if you are saying that the law is done away with, you are wasting your time. You don't know what you are saying, because Christ himself is the law. Read. So there is no stupid and foolish doctrine that says that you must bring tithe every month. And now in the law, when it comes to the tithing of the law, okay, which is lawful, when it comes to the tithing of the every single year and the 3 years, those things don't exist anymore. For now, they are still lawful, but they don't exist for now, based upon prophecy and the sin of the children of Israel, because the Levites and the priests are not in their seats. That's why prophecy tells you in the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4, that Israel shall be many days. Many days is equals to years. According to prophecy, days is equals to years. Example is Ezekiel chapter 4. Ezekiel 4 verse 6 to 7. Where go to Ezekiel, lie on your right hand, okay, and you will bear the sin of Judah, okay, for what? For 40 days, and I'll make each day for a year. So days is equals to years, according to Bible prophecy. When God told the children of Israel shall be many days without a king. Now, if you want to understand that precept, go to the genealogy of Christ in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1 to 21. Israel was without king. The kingdom of Judah, where Christ came out from. Remember, Hebrews 7 verse 14 said that our Lord spring forth out of the tribe of Judah. So Christ is from the tribe of Judah. If you doubt Hebrews 7 verse 14, go to the book of Luke chapter 2 verse 4 to 7, because Christ's father Joseph was from the lineage and the house of David, and he mentioned there Bethlehem. David is from the tribe of Judah. You can find the precept in the book of Ruth, in the book of Ruth chapter 4. Not be so, in Ruth chapter 4 verse 14 to 18, to see David's genealogy. And also in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1 to 21, you will see David's genealogy. I hope you are following. So therefore the kingdom of Judah ceased from having a king since the time of Jeremiah 52 and Jeremiah 53. From the time Nebuchadnezzar came and besieged kingdom of Judah has not have a king, because Nebuchadnezzar came and plucked out the eyes of Zedekiah. Not be so. In Jeremiah 52 verse 11, Jeremiah 52 verse 7 to 11, he plucked out the eyes of Zedekiah, fulfilling Ezekiel prophecy where God told Ezekiel to take a blindfold and blindfold his eyes as a sign and go and show to the children of Israel. That sign sign represents Zedekiah's eye being plucked out. That Nebuchadnezzar will remove Zedekiah's eyes, and he will not see where Nebuchadnezzar will take him to, and in that place he will die there. That's what, for a sign, God showed Ezekiel. Okay, so my point here is this: Israel shall be many days without a king, because from the time of Nebuchadnezzar to the time of Christ, if you say that days in Hosea chapter 3 verse 4 is just maybe 2 days or 7 days. Remember, how many days make up a week? So there are 7 days make up a week. So if you say it's only 7 days that Israel will be without a king, is it 7 days from Nebuchadnezzar to Christ? So it's not days. The days here in the book of Hosea chapter 3, where it says Israel shall be many days without a king. The days here is equal to years, not days of 7 days. No, days are used to reckon years according to prophecy. That's why for you to understand tithes and offering, you have to deal with prophecy, deal with the law and the prophet. You will understand prophecy. The law of tithing of a year and 3 years still stands, but cannot be given because according to prophecy, Israel will be many days without a king. Who do you give your offering and your tithing to? Is it not the priest and the Levite? So if Israel shall be many days without a king, without a prince, without an ephod, who wears the ephod? The priest wear the ephod. So prophecy is telling you in the book of Hosea that Israel shall be many days without a king, because the two kingdoms fell many days without king. It's not only Ephraim, both Ephraim and Judah fell many days or many years without a king. From that time to this day, there is no king in Israel. Is there a king? Because according to prophecy, when Israel will not have king, is when Christ come again the second time. No be so? That's when the kingship will be restored back. That's when the tithing of the every year and the tithing of the 3 years and the sacrifices will not be done again. So for now, there is no tithing giving every single year and tithing giving every 3 years. Now for the offering, like I've explained last two section of the lessons. Now for the offerings and the vow, we will deal with it, because the offering that is to be given is the free will offering. Because remember, I said according to the law and the prophets, there are 2 manners of offering. There's a free will offering in Exodus 25 verse 1 to 7 that you give willingly yourself. That is free will offering. And there's offering you give compulsory on the festivals. That you will give on the festivals. Like for instance, if a woman give birth to children, won't she give an offering for purification rites? So there are compulsory offering you will give on the festivals and certain other days, like offering for cleansing. So there are compulsory offerings and there are free will offerings. Now for the compulsory offering, those ones don't count, because those that do deal with the compulsory offerings are the Levites and the priests. And prophecy says there will be many days without a king, without a priest, without an ephod, without an image and a teraphim. The image here are the vessels, the altar of incense. Not be so. The image represents the vessels, the altar of incense. Those things that they use as a ceremonial rite to fulfill the ordinances of the commandment in the law. The teraphim is the ark of the covenant. So Israel will be many days without a king. Let me ask you a question. Where is the ark of the covenant? Have they found it? No, because God himself hid the ark of the covenant to be revealed when it's to be revealed. But the ark of the covenant is here in Africa. It's here in sub-Saharan Africa. That's where God hid it. So Israel shall be many days without a king. The many days is many years. So Christ is not telling disciples here that when I sent you, because you were doing the work of the priest and the Levites, which they ought to have done, who I came to correct them and set them in order, according to the prophecy of Malachi chapter 2 from verse 1 to 9, and Malachi chapter 3 from verse 1 to 4, where Christ was sent to purify the sons of Levi, but they will not hear Christ. That's why the Most High say, I've already even cursed you already in Malachi 2 verse 4. That you are cursed with a curse, because God said, I have seen that you will not change. And it's true, when Christ came, did they change? No, they grew more worse to this day. That's why God said, I've already even cursed you already. That's why Christ told his disciples, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So Israel shall be many days without a king, but before Israel shall be many days without the priest. Now without the king stop during the time of Jeremiah for kingdom of Judah. Without the priest, we now stop during the time of Christ and the apostles. Once Christ and the apostles has finished their mission, that's where without the priest who wears the ephod we now stop. So Christ is now preparing the disciples that look, begin to walk and teach the inhabitants of the world that they must walk, because Israel must fulfill the prophecy. The 12 tribe must fulfill the prophecy of what? Hosea chapter 3 verse 4, where there be many days without a king and without a prince. Israel was for many days without king and priest from those time of Hosea and Nebuchadnezzar. Then without a priest who wears the ephod and bears the teraphim will not happen in this time that Christ is addressing here. After him and the apostles, Israel will not be without what? The Ark of the Covenant, which represents the teraphim in Hosea 3 verse 4, and the priest which represents the ephod in Hosea 3 verse 4. That's what Christ is about to tell disciples here in Luke 22, which we're about to read now. That's why I say, for you to understand tithes and offering, you have to deal with the law and the prophets. If not, you can never understand tithe and offering. Pastors don't teach you tithe and offering in truth. They are lying to you. The wisdom and knowledge is not given to them. I've said that without number. People think I'm lying. If you don't keep the law, if you don't understand the origin, you can never understand the end. You'll be destroyed. That's truth. That's why you see there's so many oppression, because people believe what their theologians stated, because they don't study scripture for themselves. So therefore they are squandering you, using you to eat food. That's why you see Peter reproved them in 2 Peter 2 verse 1. They are stealing from you. Remember, the high priest, the priests, the Pharisees, and the scribe, and many of the children of Israel, their hands was behind the death of Christ. Not be so. So Israel, because God knows that Israel will not change. That's why he told Hosea, even before the events even come, many years before even Christ was born in his first coming. That's why the Moses told Malachi that ye are cursed with a curse. I've already cursed you. This commandment is for you, because I have seen that you will not change. So now Israel will not be many days without a priest and Levites, because where there is priest, there is Levites. The only priest that kept the charge were the sons of Zadok, of the lineage of Aaron, and those ones during this time separate themselves from the high priest and the Pharisees. Not all priests kept the charge, like I've taught last Sabbath. I show it to us there. Not all priests kept the charge of the Most High up to Christ's time. Those priests that kept the charge up to Christ's time separate themselves. Their account is not written in the Bible. Their account is not written in the scripture. Only those whom Christ was reproving, only them their account was written. They are doing that so that they can be able to promote their prosperity doctrine, and they are under grace. So therefore we can do whatever we like. Those of the sons of Zadok that kept the charge. If you doubt me about the sons of Zadok that kept the charge, follow prophecy. Take your time, read the book of Ezekiel 43, Ezekiel 44. That's why God told Ezekiel, focus on the sons of Zadok, because they are the only ones that kept my charge since the days that the children of Israel went astray from following me. That only the sons of Zadok, I'm not making anything up here, only the sons of Zadok kept my charge. And the sons of Zadok, to the time of Christ, separate themselves. Their history is not written off in the scripture, because the scripture is a summary of events. Hope you're following. So not all the priests that follow the Most High. The priests that rebel against the Most High were the ones ruling. Who the scripture wrote about, who their neck was bent to the Roman Empire, as you are seeing this day. As you have all these your pastors, all what they are doing is eye service. Give them bribe, they will take from you. They will give you what you want to hear. The Pharisees back then were not teaching truth, because the Pharisees was obeying the Roman Empire. If you doubt what I'm telling you, go and read Matthew chapter 2 during Christ's birth. If you notice, Herod, tetrarch of Judah, summoned the Pharisees concerning Christ's birth that the wise men saw. Not be so. So the Pharisees and the priests and the scribe, their neck was bent to the Roman Empire. They were afraid of the Roman Empire. That's why in John 11 verse 46 to 48, when Christ was preaching truth, they were against Christ. They said that this thing Christ is doing, okay, that if they let Christ do this and they don't kill him, that the Romans will come and take our place. So therefore their doctrine was based on eye service, because they were afraid of the Romans, because they were paying tribute or custom to the Romans. As you have your pastors and your politicians of today, you have resources in your land and you are suffering. Because your resources is going to the oppressors. The Roman Empire, they are still ruling today. The Roman Catholics, the Roman Empire, they are very rich. Those your resources going to them. They are still ruling to this day. The Roman Empire is the fourth beast that is strong as iron and bruise and destroy and break in pieces. The bruising they represent what? Oppression and pain. As you are seeing this day, not be so. That's why you see in Daniel chapter 2 from verse 45 to from verse 40 to 45 that fourth beast that is as strong as iron, which is the Roman Empire, will split our kingdom into what? Into 10. That's the 10 toes in Daniel chapter 2 from verse 40 to 45. God was showing Daniel the end. Did he say those 10 toes are your G10 of today? Not be so, because Rome, when she saw that she was figured out and that she almost lost her kingdom, like John expressed, this one, the one that was wounded and was not and is not and shall rise again. When the Romans saw that she was figured out, she now fulfilled Daniel 2 verse 40 to 45, where she now split her kingdom, separate herself, make it as if she don't exist. So the Roman Empire is now ruling as a church or ruling spirituality through what? The Vatican. Then politically through the what? Through the EU and American, which is Mystery Babylon. So this is how she split her kingdom. She split her kingdom because she almost lost her kingdom because she was wounded before. So enough for she to hide herself and still be ruling. So she now create a deception in the land through doctrine, spirituality, and through politics, which we are seeing today. They are crossing up because the oppression is both in spirituality and both politically. If you understand the prophets and the law, I'll say that with that number. Once you don't know the origin, you can never know the end. God don't give anyone that kind of spirit. It's not upon every man. No, there are few in this world. If anyone think I'm lying, go to the book of Job 33 from verse 23 to 27. There are 1 in 1,000. There are not many. Those whom the Most High will use to deliver a man and to correct him, if the man will hear, that's what the precept in Job says. Because the Most High care for those souls. So the Most High will now raise up a servant, 1 in 1,000, to go to them and reprove them. If they will hear, then their soul will be delivered from going down to the pit. That's what God says there. Those men are 1 in 1,000 all over the world. They are not many. But people just don't recognize them because people's eyes and their intent and their thinking is after the world, the outward appearance, how you dress, how you look. It doesn't have gold, it doesn't have silver, it doesn't have car, it doesn't have Benz, it doesn't have bike, it doesn't have anything. So what must I hear? But they don't know that's how God use people to try people. When Christ came, Christ didn't wear gold, he didn't wear silver, there is no car, there is no limo, but yet he had wisdom. And that's why you see many people refuse to hear Christ during his time. They were only after the healing, the food that we eat, but not the word. Study Christ's ministry. People were coming to Christ not because of his teachings. That's why Christ said in John 6:27, labor not for the meats that perish, but for the meats that enjoy it unto everlasting life. The beatitudes and the multitudes that came to Christ, they didn't come to Christ because of the doctrine. No, they came to Christ because of the food and the healing. Christ knew that. So don't say that Christ converts many. Christ did not convert many. No, many came to Christ, but not many receive it. Not be so. That's why Christ said many are called, but few are chosen. And there are few that the Most High have set up to bring the people back to him to fulfill their pledge and the covenant. Luke 22, let's go. So now Israel shall be many days without a king. That one ended during time of Salmanassar and during time of Nebuchadnezzar. Then without a priest will now be after Christ and after the apostles, which we are about to read. Christ is now about to give disciples more information. Remember, in Matthew 10, he told them, don't worry yourself. The laborer is worthy of his meat, because disciples were doing the work of the Levites and the priests. So therefore, even if you are poor, you will enjoy, because the poor will never depart out of the land. Because according to the law, Israel must give the tithes and the offering to the poor, to the needy, to the strangers, to the fatherless, and to the widows, and to the Levites. Not be so. So don't worry yourself. You will enjoy, even though you don't work. Because Levi or Matthew, the apostle, was a custom officer. He was working, any means, any wages and salary. Not be so. Peter was a fisherman. He was an entrepreneur of himself. Not be so. Peter and his brother Andrew were entrepreneurs. Many of the disciples, the sons of Zebedee, okay, they were entrepreneurs. They were fishermen. That's why Christ told them in Matthew chapter 4, from verse 14 to 19. Christ said, I will do what? Make you what? Fishers of men. Leave your fishing. So therefore, the apostles left their father and followed Christ because they were working. But Christ said, you know what? The temple and the city will be destroyed because Israel will not change. The priests will not change. So therefore, Hosea 3 verse 4 must not come to pass. Now Israel has been many days without a king. So now for that sign, they not change. Now Israel must be many days without a priest. So now, my disciples, prepare yourself, okay, and teach the people that Israel will be many days without a priest. I hope you are following. So now what is Luke 22, verse 35?
When I sent you without purse and bag and shoe, lack ye anything? And they said nothing. Then said he unto them, he that had a purse.
So Christ said, but now, he that had a, why is Christ saying but now? Because it all goes back to what we are saying. Christ knew that the temple will be destroyed. We still go back to Matthew 24, verse 1 to the end. I hope you are following. The temple will be destroyed. So the offering that children of Israel will bring and the tithing will not come to you anymore. Because everyone will not save what they have for themselves. So now my disciples, prepare yourself and begin to invest and go into business. Read.
Then said he unto them, but now he that had a purse, let him take it.
So Christ said, but now he that had a purse, let him take it, yes.
Likewise his bag.
Likewise him that had a bag, let him take it, yes.
And he that had no sword, let him sell.
Now remember, Luke 22, Christ about to be killed. So Christ is preparing his disciples before he die. What they must begin to teach when the time comes. And he must start with them, for example, read.
He that had no sword,
yes,
let him sell his garment.
He that had no sword, let him begin to sell. You see that? So Christ now encouraging his disciples to trade and make money for yourself. I hope you're following. Because you must remember, Christ is a prophet. Luke 24 verse 19 says, read.
He that had no sword, let him sell his garment.
This is the law and the prophet. Read.
And buy one. For I say unto you,
let him sell and buy one.
For I say unto you, that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoning among the transgressors.
And he was reckoned among the transgressors, yes. For the things concerning me have an end. Read 1 Corinthians 9 verse 3.
My answer to them that do examine me is this.
So one of the apostles of Christ says, my answer to them that examine me is this. So let's show them that examine what I'm doing. This is my answer to them. Read.
Verse 4. Have we not power to eat?
So the Bible says, have we not power to eat?
And to drink?
And to drink.
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Have we not power?
I want to show you that even the apostle himself here, Paul, understood what Christ is saying. Based on what we are saying, all these men understood prophecy. Anything that you read that Paul wrote that is contrary to the law and the prophets, always know that the Romans injected here. Because Paul was never against the law and the prophets. That was his defense in Acts 26 verse 22 to 23 and Acts 28 verse 22 to 31. Paul always defend, his means of defense is always the law and the prophets. So if there's anything that Paul is teaching the churches or the children of Israel that is against the law and the prophets, understand therefore that the Romans injected there. That's not Paul speaking there. Read. My answer to them that examine me concerning tithes and offering and giving is this. Read.
Have we not power to lead about a sister?
Don't we have the authority to teach a sister and to teach her what is right? That's what I mean by to lead a sister. That is to teach a sister the truth. Read. Now remember, Paul is not from the tribe of Levi. Paul is from the tribe of Benjamin. But he's a teacher. So Paul fell under the category of some of the apostles that are not of the tribe of Levites. I hope you are following. Read.
Have we not power to lead about a sister?
Yes.
A wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord, and Cephas.
So don't we have the power to lead other apostles who are in error? Okay, and an example is where you see Aquila in Acts 18 verse 24 to 27, where Aquila, Paul's acquaintance in Acts 18 verse 1 to 3, which we'll go there in a moment. Okay, where he met Apollos. Okay, and Apollos who was a leader in Achaia. Okay, where he met Apollos, and Apollos was a mighty man in the word. He was a mighty man in the spirit. But Aquila called Apollos and educated him concerning Christ's doctrine in full. He called him aside after Apollos was done. So-called Apollos was done. Because we know that his name is not Apollos. They injected that word there to glorify their God Apollo. Because Apollos is a Greek deity. A Greek deity. They're not giving it as a name to an Israelite or to a son of a Bantu. Read.
Our I only and Barabbas have not we power to forbear work.
So I am and Barnabas, don't we have the power to stop teaching the gospel?
Who goeth a warfare, anytime at his own charge.
2 Corinthians 10 verse 4 to 5 says that the weapon of our warfare is not carnal. Okay, and understand therefore that what we are doing is that we are fighting a battle. This is a spiritual battle that we are fighting. The book of Revelations chapter 12 verse 14 to 17 tells you that the dragon went to make war with the remnant of the saints that kept the commandments, because it's a war, it's a battle. And Ephesians 4 verse 11 says, put on your whole armor so that you can be able to resist the wile of the devil. So you must put on your whole armor. Those that put on armor are those that are of the army. And once you're putting on armor, you are a soldier. Means you are a soldier of Christ. So it's a battle. It's a spiritual battle. That's what he's saying here. Who go at a warfare? Warfare in terms of spirituality, not carnal warfare. Okay, who go at a warfare any time at his own charge, and we know that the chief commander is Christ. Is Christ sending his disciples? That's what the apostle is saying here. That we have the power to forbear, meaning that we have the power to forbear preaching the gospel. But who go to a warfare at his own charge, except he is commanded by the commander? So we cannot make our own decree, okay, as superintendent or as captain, not to go to a warfare. Okay, because we are still we are lower in ranking than the commander. So I cannot say that I will stop preaching the gospel of my own power. No, because preaching the gospel, you have to be led by the Spirit. And who is the chief of the spirit of mankind? It's Christ, under the Most High God. Because the Most High God is the Lord of Sabaoth, like James 5 verse 3 to 4 says. The word Sabaoth means army. We are all soldiers of Christ.
Who goeth a warfare?
Who goeth a warfare anytime at his own charge? Who planted a vineyard and eaten not of the fruit thereof? So what he's saying here is that is there anyone that preach the gospel that is not supposed to reap of the benefit? That's not what Paul is saying here, which goes to the same thing that Christ said earlier on to the disciples in Matthew 10 and in Luke 22, which we have already addressed. Paul is addressing what Christ is addressing. Okay, of the first charge and of the second charge. The first charge is that don't worry yourself. A laborer is worthy of his meat. Okay, and a workman is worthy of his hire. No be so. Then later what Christ said that now you must do what? Begin to work, and then you eat your food, because the temple and the place will soon be destroyed. So don't expect anyone to give you of the tithing of the first year and of the tithing of the second year, because the poor will not depart out of the land according to the law. Don't wait for it, because the priest will not be in their office anymore. The Levites will not be in their office anymore. And the church was giving that out of that offering out of that tithe of a year and of 3 years, you must give a portion to the poor and the fatherless and the widows. So don't wait for it. But there's a free will that you can receive if men give it to you on your own, which in a moment we are going there. But don't wait even for the free will offering. Don't wait for those things. So if they give, they give. But meanwhile, have something doing and work. I'll show us that I'm not making anything up here. Read.
Or who feedeth a flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Say I these things as a man, and said not the law the same also?
Say I this thing as a man, or what? Say not the law also the same. So Paul's message and teachings according to the law, I've told you that if anything you are reading about Paul, if it's not in the law and the prophets, the Romans injected here. When we are doing the lessons that we teach, it's after the law and the prophet, same method, nothing change. God don't change, same method. Read.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
For it is written in the law of Moses.
For it is written in the law of Moses, yes.
Thou shalt not
muzzle the mouth of the ox that treaded out the corn. That law is in Deuteronomy 25, verse 4. 1 Corinthians 9, let's go.
For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox,
yes,
that treaded out the corn.
Yes. Do God take care for oxen? Yes. God takes care of oxen. Read.
Verse 10. Or said he that altogether for our sake, for our sake.
Let me ask you a question. Do God take care of oxen? Yes. But does the oxen work to get his money? To get his food? Does he labor to get what he eats? Yes. So God provides everything for man. So Paul says, you know that just as God provides for the oxen, the oxen must still labor to go and get what he wants to eat. Don't be so. Because the oxen has to trek and walk around to look for food to eat of the grass of the earth. Don't be so. And sometimes people give of the oxen a free will offering. Don't be so. As sometimes you see us doing, we will throw a bread to dove. You will throw a granite to the dove. You throw rice to animal. Not be so. So that's a free will offering you are giving to them. If you give, but if you don't give your free will offering to these animals, what happens? They have to walk to go and get their means, because they don't depend on your free will offering. So God provides for mankind, but Israel will not hear word. God gave man land, And inheritance, no be so. Dig of the earth and get your inheritance. Go get man cattle, no be so. Get man gold, silver in your land. But sin does not let man to enjoy these things. To the extent that even look as if animals is even enjoying than us. Which things all not to be so. If Israel would have kept the commandments and still keep the law, every single man would be in their inheritance. Still having abundance of cattle. Every single man will be what? Will be husbandman. They'll be what? They'll be farmers. Jacob was a farmer. Isaac was a farmer. Abraham was a farmer. Not be so. They were all farmers. They had cattle. They were rich. They were not begging. They labored. They worked for it. Not be so. They work. They serve. God provide those things, but you must labor to get it. Did Israel labor to get the land? Did they fight war? They labor to get it. God has already provided it, but you must still labor to get it. Same to do with the animals. That's what Paul is saying here. But once you get it, it's not your own. And sometimes, even though you have, some might say, "Come, I will give you free will. Let me entertain you." That's a free will offering. That you are giving to your neighbor or to the animals. So this is what Paul is addressing here. Read verse 9.
For it is written in the law of Moses,
yes,
thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that tread out the corn.
Yes. Do God take care for oxen? Yes, read. Or said he eat all together for our sakes.
For our sake, no doubt, this is written, that he
that ploweth should plow in hope. Yes. He that labor should labor in hope. That he that thresh in hope should be partaker of his hope, meaning of what he work for. Okay, you should aim for what you labor for. Read.
If we have sold unto you spiritual things.
So now the apostle say, if we have put in you, if we have given, if we have preached unto you, okay, the spiritual things, yes.
Is it a great thing?
Yes.
If we shall
is it a great thing? It's not enforcing. Paul is teaching the same Christ taught. Is it a great thing? Yes.
If we shall reap.
Is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnality? Your carnality is what you labor for. So is it a crime if we have preached to you the gospel for you to give of the things that you have to us? He's just making an exclamation. He's going back to what Christ taught. Remember, I have said anything that Paul teaches is not according to the law. It's not Paul speaking. Watch this. Paul is not against the law here. Watch this. Just wait to the end. That's patience. Read.
Verse 12. If others be partaker of this power over you.
So he said, if others be partakers of this power over you, if others, who are the others? Others are not the Gentiles. The others that were partaker of this power. What was the lesson we told us about? So in Romans 13. So in Romans 13, who are the powers? The power of the Israelites. Watch what Paul say. Paul said, if others have the power over you, who are those that have the power over you in these things? The Pharisees and the priests and the high priests, who were not of the sons of Zadok, that Aaron sitting in Moses' seat, that Christ said in Matthew 23, verse 1 to 3, that we are still taking of the tithes and the offerings. Because the Pharisees were Levites, majority of them. That's why they say we pay tithes of meat. That's why Christ said the Pharisees pay tithes of meat, and our needs are coming. Because in Numbers 18 verse 26 to 27, the Levites pay tithes of 10% to the priests, because the priests senior the Levites in office. Not be so, because the Levites serve the priests, because the duty of the Levites was to arrange the tabernacle, set the pole, set the curtains, okay, conduct the children of Israel, take off the offering and the tithe of the children of Israel, okay, build the goat and the ram in preparation of the offering of the children of Israel. That was some of the duty of the Levites. The Levites were in charge of the singing of the instruments. Not be so. They were in charge of maintenance of the tabernacle. The Levites were men, not women. Those that maintained the office and the sanctuary were men, not women. It's an abomination for a woman to be in that office, because people don't follow the law, they are destroyed. So the Levites serve the priest. That commandment here is in Numbers 3 verse 5 to 8. The Levites serve the priest. The Levites give a tenth to the priest. So in Matthew 23 verse 23, Christ says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes of meat, because the law, after the manner of the tithing of the year and the 3 years, was still done during Christ's time. That's why Christ told the disciples, don't worry. In Matthew 10, the laborer is worthy of his meat and the workman of his hire. In Matthew 10 verse 10 and Luke 10 verse 4, they mean the same thing. Luke testimony and Matthew testimony, the same thing. Then Christ now told the disciples in Luke 22, before he died, before he will now go. So Christ now give disciples the sermon that look, a time will come where this place will be destroyed. In Matthew 24 verse 1 to 3. See, not all these things, the temple will be destroyed. So therefore, Levites and the priests will be discharged from their office for a time. So therefore, begin to walk. So Paul understood these things. So Paul said that others have the power over you to take the offerings and the tithes for you. The Pharisees were Levites and they paid tithe to the priests. There was priests, they were high priests, but they were not of the sons of Zadok. The Levite is a different office from priest. Don't confuse the both. No, Levites different office. Levites in plural is different office from priests. Even though the two come from the same lineage, but God separate their office. Hope you are following. The Levites are of the sons of Gershon and Merari. The priests are of the sons of what? Levi, Kohath, Amram, then Aaron and sons. Hope you are following. Exodus 29 verse 9 and 1 Chronicles chapter 6 from verse 1 to 4. You will get the lineage of the priests. 1 Corinthians read.
If others,
So if others are the Pharisees, the priests who are not of the sons of Zadok, even though the high priest and the priests that conspire against Christ are of the tribe of Levi, okay, and the office is given to them, but they erred for following the Most High. Only the sons of Zadok, their brother, kept the charge, and the sons of Zadok accounts are not written off in scripture here because they separate themselves from their brothers, those that conspire against Christ, that killed him. Because majority of the sons of Aaron rebelled against the Most High. And those rebellious ones are the ones we are seeing during crisis time. But the ones that did not rebel, they are of the sons of Zadok, they are of the house of Zadok. They are not here. That's why I say follow prophecy in Ezekiel 43-44. They still exist, but they separate themselves in the so-called New Testament. There's no such thing called New Testament. It's Testament. New Testament is a deception. God don't change. Read 1 Corinthians 9 verse 12.
if others be partakers of this power over you,
Yes. And not we rather.
nevertheless, we have not used this power.
So Paul said, if others have the power to take tithes and offering from you after the manner of the law, remember, Paul make mention of the law, not be so. In verse 8, so everything is teaching here is according to the law. So those that have the power over you, like after the manner of the tithing of the law of every single year and every single 3 years. So those that take the tithing and the offerings from you, the two manner of tithing, the two manners of the offerings, those that take those things from you, they have the power to take it from you. But I myself and my acquaintance, they have not done so because Paul is following Christ's footsteps. Read.
If others be partaker of this power over you, aren't not we rather, nevertheless, we have not used this power.
Nevertheless, I have not used this power. Why? Because Paul is going back to Christ's ministry. Because Paul knew that Christ said in Matthew 24, before his death, that this temple and his city will be destroyed. So Christ began to command his disciples before he died. Begin to walk. Don't exercise these things from people. Show for the example, even though you are not of the lineage of the sons of Aaron, but begin to be a light to them, that the temple and the city will be destroyed. So therefore, let people begin to get used to it, not to depend. Let the teachers and the overseers. That's why he says, haven't we not power to reprove a sister or other apostles? So what Paul is saying is that look, a time and a day will come, which has already come. That look, the temple and the city will be destroyed. So let not the disciples begin to depend on what? On the offerings and the tithing. Because the Levites were depending on that to live in the land of Israel. Because they have no lords in the land of Israel. So they depend on the offerings that the children of Israel give to them. Not be so. That's how they live. The Levites and the priests depend on the offerings, the offerings and the tithings. Read.
But suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Christ. Verse 13. Do ye not know that they which minister about...
So he says, but allow all things, at least we should hinder the gospel of Christ. So we will not use money as a stumbling block, not to preach the gospel, because we have understanding that the temple, according to prophecy, will be destroyed. So we'll begin to build our mind, because the master has commanded us to begin to do what? To work for our daily means. We must not depend. Nevertheless, people will still giving their free will offerings, but we must not depend on it. Read.
Verse 13.
Do
you not know,
yes,
that they which minister about holy things?
Do you not know that they which minister about holy things? Who are they that minister about holy things? If not for the priests, the sons of Aaron, not be so. Because the sons of Aaron are those that the Most High separate and consecrate to be holy, to teach concerning the word. Do you not know that they which minister, because the ministry office was given to the sons of Aaron in Exodus 29, verse 1 to 9. And Aaron and son shall minister in the priest office, and the priest office shall be theirs forever. That's what God said. Minister. Another for minister is what? Serve. So the ministers of holy things are the sons of Aaron. That's what Paul is teaching here. I'm not making anything up. When it comes to tithe and offering, you have to deal with the law and the prophet. These are your understanding. If not, you will error. Read. Read again, 13.
Do you not know?
That's why I said, do you not know? Because you're supposed to have knowledge. Do you not know?
that they which minister
Because these Corinthians are Israelites living in Corinth, living in the city of Corinth. The city name is Corinth. Corinthians. Tians means the people of Corinth. The IAN suffix represent people. So the city name is Corinth. Not be so. Alright. So this were the Israelites living in this region of Asia, which they call today Europe. Which part of Asia has now become Europe today? Read.
verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Do you not know that they which minister about holy things live for the things of the temple?
Exactly, because do you not know that they which do what? Which minister go about holy things, live of the things of the temple, because these are the Levites and the priests that live of those things that are given. So those are the orders that Paul spake that have the power over you, because the orders that have the power over you in verse 12 are the Levites and the priests, and among those Levites are the Pharisees and the scribes. Not be so? So Paul knew what he's teaching. I'm not making anything up here. Because the Pharisees, who are Levites predominantly, they sit in Moses' seat. And they were teaching, but they were not teaching in the fullness of it. That's why Christ was angry with them. That's why Christ told the disciples that the temple and the city will be destroyed. Because of sin. Read.
And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar.
And they which wait at the altar, because the duty of the Levite is to take the offering, peel the skin, and prepare the burnt offering for the priest to do. Because the priest and the Levite together collaborate to do burnt offering. They both do it. Both the priest and the Levite. Hope you are following. Study the law. Both the priest and the Levite conduct burnt offering, but at certain stages. There are some that the Levite don't do. Only the priest does it. And there are some that the Levite and the priest can do the same. So in this wise, you have the altar of the burnt offering, and then you have the altar of incense. And those that stand at the altar of incense, okay, are the priest, not Levite. Levite don't go to the altar of incense, because the altar of incense is within the veil. You understand what I'm saying? And the priest that goes into that veil, you understand what I'm saying? It is only the high priest. Now, on top of the priest, you still have high priest. Only the high priest is permitted to go to the second veil. But the first veil, the priest can be there. All the priests can be in the first veil. In that first veil is where you have the altar of incense. Levite don't go there, but the priest goes there. That's why I say understand the law. Let's read. You have to know it. If you don't know it, you won't understand tithe and offering. High priest of the sons of Aaron, but higher ranking. I hope you are following. Read.
1 Corinthians 9 verse 14. Even so, had the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel.
Exactly, because what Paul is going back to the law. They which preach the gospel should live by the gospel. Exactly. They should live by it. God said that, yes. But God said that those things will come desolate because of sin. Read. As I said earlier on.
Verse 15.
So you remember, that's why Paul said, do you not know? It's a past tense. He's taking you back to the beginning. And currently where he is right now. Because the Pharisees were still ruling during Paul's time. Read.
Verse 15. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things.
So he said, but I have used none of these things or this power to collect tithe and offering from you. According to the law, read.
Neither have I written these things. That it should be so done.
That it should be so done unto me, yes, to give it tithe and offering. That is the tithe of every year and of every 3 years, and the free will offerings or the compulsory offering. I never told you to give it to me. Remember, Paul also too was a Pharisee. Not be so. That's why I say not all the Pharisees were of the sons of Levi, because Paul is from the tribe of Benjamin. When you read Romans 11 verse 1, the office of Levi was not given to the Benjamites. Not be so. Exactly. That's why Christ came to reprove them, because they were not following the law in accordance. They were profaning the standard of the Most High. That's why I said not all the Pharisees were of the tribe of Levi. They were mixed up together. They were profaning the ordinance of the Most High. Only the sons of Zadok kept the charge of the Most High, follow prophecy. But the sons of Zadok were not here. They didn't collaborate or affiliate themselves or synchronize themselves with the Pharisees. No, because they knew the works of the Pharisees. Because the Pharisees had the upper hand than them. So they separated themselves. They were few. Because the Pharisees made a covenant with the Romans and were bound to the Romans and met the Romans' requirements. But the sons of Zadok will not meet the Romans' requirements. So therefore, they were not willing to continue their office in that manner. They separated themselves, but still kept the ordinance of the church in wherever they are in the city. So he pleased the Romans to appoint the Pharisees to be under them, because the Pharisees were giving them all what they want.
Verse 15. But I have used none of these things.
But I have used none of these things, yes.
Neither have I written these things.
Yes.
that it should be so done unto me.
Uh-huh.
For it were better for me to die
Yes.
than that any man should make my glory void.
Glory void, yes.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh. For though I preach the gospel,
I have nothing to glory of.
for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea.
Yea, woe unto me,
Yes.
if I preach not the gospel.
So woe unto me if I preach not the gospel, yes.
Verse 17.
I will not let carnal things or your own or the offering you give to me, okay, hesitate me for not preaching the gospel. I will preach the gospel whether you give me of the offering or not, or of the tithing or not. That's why pastors must go and work. They are lazy. They need to go and work. Go and work. Read.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
For if I do this thing willingly,
Uh-huh.
I have a reward.
Yes.
But if against my will,
Uh-huh. A dispensation
of the gospel is committed unto me.
Go on.
Verse 18. What is my reward then?
Verily that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Christ without charge. You see that? There will not be a charge to anybody. No. Because Paul is going back to what Christ is saying. What we have been teaching, the same thing. There will not be charge. There will not be charge given to any man compulsorily. It must be willingly of your own dispensation. Because the charge is the two tithes and the compulsory offerings. So the disciples of Christ are not laying that example that look, we know that the temple will soon be destroyed. Even though it wasn't destroyed yet during Paul's time. But after the apostles, the Romans will now come, who are the armies in Luke 21 verse 20 to 27, will now come and destroy the place and the sanctuary. So the apostles are now preparing, showing that example, preparing people's mind that look, before we die, we must pass this understanding to you. As Christ, before he died, he passed the understanding to us. So that you people too, before you die, pass it on to your children, so on and so forth. That look, a time will come, the priest will not be in their seat anymore. So anyone that will not preach the gospel, don't make a charge to anybody. Don't depend on any tithings, okay, and any compulsory offering. Go and labor. If anyone give to you, take it. If anyone does not give to you, what you hear before you were called to the gospel, keep on doing it as we are walking. And make your ends meet. Don't use the gospel as a means to loot money from people. Don't do that. That's what the apostles are teaching. But if people give it to you willingly, take it. And of course, if you are hungry and then you tell somebody, I beg you, not forcefully. You understand what I'm saying? Because God said the poor will never depart out of the land. So if someone is poor and says hungry, and you are willing to give it. If a pastor is hungry and he says, give to me, I don't have money, and you are willing to give. But if you don't give, then that person must not say, now begin to twist doctrine, and I'm to say, if you don't give, God will not curse you. No. But it's lawful right now, according to prophecy, that if a pastor is hungry and he doesn't have money, and he beg, and people are willing to give, and they give willingly. But forcefully or as a charge for the tithing, the two manner of tithing and the compulsory offering, no, those things don't exist for now until Christ come again the second time to destroy this wicked and impious kingdom and restore the Levi to office. By that time, which generation is now, everybody will, all those that are choosing, will understand the doctrine and the law of the priesthood. That's why those elders say, He has made us kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Is that understood? All right. That's why I made the lesson known to us in Psalm Romans 13. Those that will reign on the earth when Christ come again. That who, even though they are not of the tribe of Levi or the sons of Aaron, they will still have the ability of the sons of Aaron, which is to teach or to minister, as we see us doing this day, and as Christ's disciples were doing. Because when Christ called disciples, majority of them, I'm sure all of them are not even of the sons of Aaron. But they were able to teach because Christ himself is not of the sons of Aaron. Is Christ of the tribe of Levi? No. So Christ was laying the example that look, prepare yourself. Everybody must understand the gospel because I must prepare you for what? Exodus 19 verse 6, where Israel will become a kingdom of priests. So now all the tribe must understand the office of the Levite. But nevertheless, Levi will still do their office when that time comes. Alright, let's read.
What is my reward then? Verily that when I preach the gospel,
yes,
I may make the gospel of Christ without charge.
Yes.
That I abuse not my power.
That I abuse not the power which is the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is power. Acts 1 verse 6 to 8. That's the power there. In this context.
That I abuse not my power in the gospel. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I may gain the more.
That I may gain the more. Do you see that? Now let's go. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 6.
The King Version, book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 6. For though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge.
So, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge,
But we have been truly made manifest.
But we have been truly made manifest. among you in all things for your edification and for your reproof concerning the gospel, okay, of the law and the prophets. Read.
Verse 7. Have I committed an offense?
Have I committed an offense? Yes.
In abasing myself?
And do I commit an offense in bringing myself low? It's in the kind of power that I have or the wisdom that I possess. So do I commit an offense in bringing myself so low?
That he may be exalted.
So that you may be saved upon the coming of Christ. So that you may receive the glorious garment. So that you may receive the reward of immortality and the blessing and the inheritance of the earth, covenanted to the children of Israel, the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do I abase myself in this manner? Do I make an offense in this manner? So that you might be exalted in the kingdom above all nations, because Israel is set above all nations. Not be so. That's Romans 28 verse 1 to 2. If you keep my commandments, I will put you above all nations. That's what God says there. Read.
Have I committed an offense?
Yes.
In abasing myself?
In bringing myself low.
That he may be exalted.
That you might be exalted to acquire wisdom, to be in the same level as I am, and spread the gospel, and inherit the kingdom. Because right now you are in captivity. Because as Paul is teaching this gospel, Israel is still in captivity. Judah is still in captivity here under the Romans to this day. Yes.
Because I have preached to you.
Because I have preached to you the gospel
of God freely.
Of God what?
Freely.
Of God what?
Freely.
Of God what?
Freely.
So the gospel was preached freely, without any charge. Don't give me your tithe and offering. No, I have to begin to get used to it. That the temple will be destroyed. So what the Most High is doing is preparing the children of Israel, the teachers, the apostles, because the Pharisees refuse to change. Because if the Pharisees have changed, the Most High would have established the kingdom in that time. So therefore, the tithing of every single year and every 3 years would have continued. But the Pharisees refused to change. So God now sent Christ to do what? To bring about that look, prepare my servants, because the tithing of the 3 years and of the 1 year and of the compulsory offering will no longer be given, and the Pharisees and the priests will lose their office. But nevertheless, the gospel must still be taught. So for those that will teach the gospel, those offering, compulsory offering and tithing that was meant for the Pharisees, that will not be given to them, you understand what I'm saying? They should not depend on those things. So therefore they must labor. So God is not preparing them, because he has known that the Pharisees will not change. So therefore those ordinances will stop for a while. I hope you're following. They will stop for a while. That's why God said, I've already caused you already, because you will not change. In Malachi 2, before God brings something to light, there's always a preparation to everything. For a feast day, is there not preparation? Exactly. So even in the light of when the tithing of 3 years and the tithing of every single year was still given, when Christ was still alive, when Paul was still alive and the apostles were still alive, God was still preparing the disciples that will be afterward, that look, begin to teach, because those who were receiving those tithing and offering in the law, they will not do what? Teach the law accordingly. Therefore, because that sin will provoke me, I will destroy them from that office. So for you to survive and continue to preach the gospel, you must go and work. For some time you do what? Enjoy those tithe and offering, but a time will come you will not enjoy it anymore. So go and work. Christ said that nevertheless the gospel will be preached today, tomorrow, and the day following. For it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. All the apostles of Christ are prophets. Exactly, Luke 13 verse 31 to 35. So the gospel will still be preached. So even though the Levites and the priests will lose their office and the tithing will stop, the prophets will not depart out of their land, because all the apostles of Christ are prophets. Don't be so. Christ is a prophet. Don't be so. Christ is not of the tribe of Levi, of the sons of Aaron, who were given the office to teach, but he was still teaching like as if he was a Levite. Don't be so. So all those that will come after Christ, nevertheless, I must work today, tomorrow, and the day following. Christ has already died in his first coming. So the day following is not him. The day following is his disciples, whom he will commission from that time to this day. So therefore, don't depend on the tithings of every 3 years and a year that you receive, even if you fall in the category of poor. Don't depend on it. Go and begin to work. That's what Paul is teaching here. Same thing. Hope you are following. Those that it is given to will understand it. That's why the Bible says, to whom it is given, let him understand. A man can receive nothing if it's not given to him. That's what John 3:27 says. If you don't understand it, it's not a sin. If you be the Most High, you understand it later. Time will tell. Everybody cannot know everything.
Verse 8. I rob other churches, take wages of them to do you service.
Exactly. So he said, I rob other churches. The robbing there is not physical robbery. The churches he's talking about there is the temple, which Israel go and give the tithings of every 3 years to the priest and to the Levites. I hope you are following. And the compulsory offerings. So he said, I rob you from those things that you give to them. You don't need to give it to them, but yet you will still receive the gospel to you freely. Read again.
Verse 8. I rob other churches.
So he said, I rob other churches. The robbing there is stopping you from giving the priest or the Pharisees the tithing of the 3 years. That money you should give to them, you don't need to stress yourself, give it to them. Come and hear the gospel for free. Paul is preparing the minds of the children of Israel that look, the temple will be destroyed as Christ said in Matthew 24, verse 1 to 2. Read.
I help other churches.
Yes.
Take wages of them.
Take wages of them, because wages is what you give less than a most, not be so. Wages is what you give less than a month, and the things you give less than a month are the what? The compulsory offerings. Not be so. Exactly what you are saying. Taking wages of them, yes.
To do you service.
To do you service, which is the ministry of the children of the world. Go on.
And when I was present with you and wanted.
And when I was present with you and lacking, that's wanted. What I mean is lacking. And when I was present with you and wanted, I was chargeable to no man. Yes.
For that which was lacking to me.
For that which was lacking to me, yes.
The brethren which came from Macedonia.
The brethren that came from Macedonia,
supplied.
They supplied willingly on their own. So he suppose I did not charge you anything when I preach the gospel. So definitely, because Paul's ministry and message, Paul is not double-minded. So those that came from Macedonia and supplied to him, he did not charge them neither. They came, they knew he had wants, and they gave it to him willingly. Not be so. If you say I'm hungry and I want food, and someone is willing to give, and you give it willingly of your own, that's not you being chargeable to anyone. Chargeable means it's compulsory, not be so. So these people that came from Macedonia, they gave it willingly of themselves. Paul did not bother anybody. Yes, if he's hungry, he can ask somebody, do you have anything to give to me? If they are willing, they give it. That's what he's saying here. The same thing Christ says. Go and walk. Don't depend on anybody. But if anybody is willing to give, that's the free will offering. Because the free will offering still exists to this day. Read.
For that which is lacking of me,
yes,
the brethren which came from Macedonia,
yes,
supplied.
They supplied it,
And in all things I have kept myself from being.
Exactly, and in all things I have kept myself. See that from being bodysome unto you, and so will I keep myself going forward. Verse 10, and stop there.
As the truth of Christ is in me.
As the truth of Christ is in me, because Paul is following Christ's footstep. The same thing that we are saying. That's why I dealt with Christ first in Matthew 10 and in Luke 22. Before I can come to Paul, to show you that Paul is following Christ's footstep, the same method. And if you are following Christ, you are following the law and the prophet. Read.
As the truth of Christ.
As the truth of Christ is in me, because my understanding is true is from Christ. Who is the whole volume of the book? Read.
No man shall stop me from being.
No man shall stop me of this boasting in the regions of Achaia or Achaia. So you can boast when it comes to the doctrine of truth. Boast about it. That's a righteous boasting. I hope you are following. If you are boasting about carnal things and your way is not upright with the Most High God, your boasting is vanity. Acts 18 verse 1. I want to show us here that after Christ's death and resurrection and ascension to heaven, the apostles knew what they were saying. They were walking. Watch this. Those that were apostles that understood prophecy, that Christ is using as an example before the temple will be destroyed, they understood Christ's message very carefully. Watch this. Acts 18 verse 1. Let's go.
Verse 1. After these things, yes. Paul departed from Athens.
After these things, Paul departed from Athens.
And came to Corinth.
So he left Athens, came to Corinth, regions of Asia.
And found a certain Jew named Aquila.
So Paul, an apostle of Christ, found a certain Jew, an Israelite, maybe of the tribe of Benjamin or Levi or Judah. He said, I found a certain Jew, because the word Jew means Judah. Under this kingdom is three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So this Jew could be any of the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. And found a certain Jew named Aquila, yes,
born
in Pontus, lately come from Rome, from Italy, yes.
With his wife
Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded
all Jews
to depart from Rome, yes,
and came unto them.
So therefore Paul came unto them, yes.
Verse 3. And because he was of the same.
And because he was of the same what?
Craft.
And because of the same what?
Same craft.
The same what?
Same craft.
The same what?
Same craft.
The same what?
Craft.
The same crafts or craftsmanship. The same work or job experience. They have the same skill or talent. This Aquila was of the same craft of him, Paul. He had bought with them. Paul had bought with them, this man and his wife, Aquila and Priscilla, and wrought or brought up, for by their occupation, they were tent makers. They were what?
Tent makers.
They were what?
Tent makers.
So they were tent makers by their occupation. Occupation means their job. They were. Who are they? Paul, remember, Paul is a minister of God that preached the gospel. Paul understood what Christ said. That's why Paul said that in these boastings, in the region of Achaia, I will teach it as the truth of Christ is in me. I will not be chargeable to anyone. I work. I was a tent maker. I make my own money in my occupation. You start saying, but if I lack and if I have want or need, okay, I'm hungry, I can say, oh, my friend, oh, do you have this thing? Give it to me. Not be so. So those that came from Macedonia, they are his friends. Okay, he say, my brother, I have one to. Anybody that is hungry can meet the friend, say, borrow me this money or give me this one. Do you have something to give me? Not be so. It's not forcing him. He just saying, give me if you have. But Paul worked, he labored, and yet he was still teaching. Not be so. Because Christ commanded the disciples to go. If you don't have anything, sell it. Begin to go. I'm not making it up. I'm not done yet though. This is just Paul. And Aquila amongst Christ's disciples. After Christ, to show that they obeyed Christ's message to the original 12 that he told them before his death. In Luke 22, verse 37, where he told them, do you remember when I told you to don't take purse and scrip and bag and shoes? But now begin to go and take. And sell what you have and acquire what? Possessions. Because the time will come, what happened? The temple and the city will be destroyed. So you will not do what? Be a light to your brethren. Because Israel is a light, like Matthew 5 verse 13 to 14 says, not be so. Israel is salt of the earth. Israel is the salt of the earth and the light of the world in verse 14. Salt of the earth in verse 13, light of the world in verse 14 of Matthew 5. So now, theologians, those that preach the gospel today, they need to go and work. Stop charging people, telling them to pay tithes and compulsory offering. No, don't do that. And number one, first and foremost, God's holy day and day of rest is not Sunday. That's a problem from the beginning. That's why you see the wisdom is not revealed to them. It's a lie. There's no tithing to be given every single month. And moreover, tithing is of twofold. Most pastors don't even know this. They don't study the law. The offerings is of twofold. Because they don't keep the law, they don't know it. Because if you say you know something, you will do it. Not so. If you have knowledge of something and you're not doing it, it means you don't know it.
That's 18 verse 3. And because he was of the same craft.
So because Aquila was the same occupation with Paul, because they were craftsmen.
He abode with them. And what?
And wrought means brought up. WROUGHT means brought up. Means they make or they create. Yes. These people were carpenters. Paul was a carpenter by occupation. Carpenter, yes. Was it all carpentry? Read.
For by their occupation,
yes.
They were tent makers.
Because for you to make tents, you must understand the work of carpentry. Not be so. So go and work. This after Christ's death and ascension. So the apostles laid the foundation before the temple was destroyed. Before it was destroyed, because like I've said, before a judgment, there's always a preparation. God will prepare the people's mind. John 21. Let me give you another example of Christ's original 12 disciples. Watch this. John 21 verse 1. Let's go. Disciples perfectly understood Christ.
After these things,
yes,
Christ showed himself again.
After these things, Christ Yeshua showed himself again. Read it again.
After these things, Christ showed himself again.
Yeshua showed himself again
to the disciples.
This after Christ. Remember, John 21 is after Christ's death and resurrection. So when Christ resurrected, he showed himself to his disciples. Now, what were disciples doing when Christ showed himself to them after he resurrected? Remember, before Christ's death, in the beginning, disciples were fishermen. Not be so. They were fishermen. They were working. They were business owners. They were entrepreneurs. Their occupation was what? Fishermen and salesmen. So that's what they were doing before Christ found them and called them into the ministry. Not be so. Then when Christ called them, they left their occupation to go on with the ministry. Christ told them that, look, you are worthy after the manner of the Levite and the priest. But afterward, Christ told them again, go and begin to do your labor. Go and begin to work and make money. Not be so. Now, after Christ's death, let's see if the disciples took it to Christ's message. Because remember, Christ told them, if you have anything, sell it and buy it. In Luke 22, let's see if the disciples obey Christ's word. John 21 after Christ's resurrection. Watch this. John 21 verse 1. I'm not making anything up here. Read.
Verse 1. After these things, Christ showed himself again to the disciples. Yes. At the sea of
Tiberias, yes, or Tigris. At the sea of Tiberias, gone.
And on this wise, show him himself.
Yes.
Verse 2. They were together.
Simon Peter, yes. And Thomas called Didymus, yes.
And Nathaniel.
Listen very carefully. Simon himself, who is called Peter. Thomas, who is called Didymus. Nathaniel of Cana in Galilee. And his sons of Zebedee. And two other of his disciples. So there were many disciples of Christ here. So it's not only Paul and Aquila. In Acts 18 verse 1 to 2, they were working. That occupation after Christ's death. Because remember, Acts 18 is after Christ's death and resurrection. Not be so. Read.
Verse 3. Simon Peter said unto them,
I go a fishing. I go what, all the men?
I go a fishing.
I go what?
I go a fishing.
I go what?
I go a fishing.
I go a fishing. Why is he going a fishing? Go back to Matthew chapter 4, verse 14. Watch this. And then we'll come back here. Matthew 4, verse 18. Read.
Matthew 4, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And Christ walked by the sea of Galilee.
And Yeshua walking by the sea of Galilee, yes.
Saw two brethren.
Saw two what?
Saw two brethren.
Saw two brethren, yes.
Simon called Peter.
Simon was all the men.
Simon called Peter.
Simon called Peter. Not Simon Peter. Simon called Peter. Yes.
And Andrew, his brother.
And Andrew, his brother, his birth name is Simon. Christ now God changed his name from Simon to Peter. Peter just means rock or kefa in Hebrew. In Hebrew transliteration, yes. And Andrew, his brother, yes.
Casting a net.
Casting a net, because this was the occupation before Christ made them, yes. And this is what they were doing after Christ resurrected, yes.
Into the sea.
Into the sea, yes.
For they were fishers.
For they were what all the men?
For they were fishers.
For they were what all the men?
For they were fishers.
For they were fishers. They were fishermen. That was the occupation before Christ made them to survive. So they went back doing it after Christ resurrected because of Christ's instruction in Luke 22. So when Christ said, if you have to sell this one, what Christ is just telling them that, look, go and begin to go and walk. That's what Christ is saying there. Read.
Verse 19. And he said unto them.
And he said unto them, what did he say?
Follow me. And I will make you fishers of men.
What the Bible said, amen?
Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
Read.
Verse 20. And they
straightway
left their nets.
And they straightway left their nets in plural, yes.
And followed him.
And did what?
And followed him.
John 21, let's go back there.
Simon Peter.
Simon called Peter, yes.
Said unto them.
Say unto them.
I go a fishing.
I go a fishing, yes.
They said unto him.
They said unto him because there were many in verse 2, yes.
We also go with thee.
We also do what?
We also go with thee.
We also do what?
We also go with thee.
We also go with thee as it was in the beginning. So they obeyed Christ in Luke 22. So they went back fishing to make money. And they were still preaching, no. They were still teaching. Read.
We also go with thee.
We also go with thee, yes.
They went forth and entered into the ship immediately. And that night they catch nothing.
You see that, and they did what? They went forth, entered into the ship, a ship. They entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. Yes.
Verse 4.
Verse 4.
But when the morning was now
come, yes.
Christ stood on the shore.
Christ now stood on the shore.
But the disciples know not that it was Christ.
The disciples knew not that it was Christ because Christ changed his appearance, yes.
Verse 5. Then Christ said unto them.
Children.
Have ye not any meat?
Have you not any food to eat? He answered him, no. Next verse.
Verse 6. And he said unto them, cast the net.
Cast thy net. So Christ told them, cast your net.
On the right side of the ship.
On the right side of the ship, yes.
And ye shall find.
And you shall find, yes.
They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it from.
And now they were not able to draw it because it was many, yes.
For the multitude of the fish.
For the multitude of the fishes that they were able to catch in their net.
Verse 7.
Yes.
Therefore, that disciples who Christ loved.
Therefore, that disciple whom Yeshua loved, which is John, the Revelator, yes. Whom Christ loved the most is John, the Revelator, yes.
Said unto
Peter, yes.
It is the Lord.
Who wrote this book we are reading? It is the what?
It is the Lord.
So John's eyes now open. Now say it is the Lord.
Now, when Simon Peter,
yes,
how that it is.
How did John knew? John knew through the miracle, not through the face, so not through the Christ came in another appearance. But when John saw the miracle, he said, "Peter, this is the Lord." He just appeared different to us. That's why I pray that the resurrection to us, that you can change, you can appear in different manner. Not be so.
Yes.
That's why you have angels appearing in the manner they want. Not be so. Yes. Read.
Christ came in offer.
Exactly. Read.
Now, when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girded his fishing coat unto him, for he was naked.
Therefore, that disciples whom Yeshua loved said unto Peter, "It is the Lord." Now, when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord,
he girded his fishing coat.
He girded his fishing coat, which Peter wore,
unto him.
Unto him is Christ.
For he was naked.
For Christ himself was naked.
And he cast himself into the sea.
So Peter himself ran to Christ in the sea and gave him the coat. That's what he's saying there. Yes.
That's it. And the other disciples came in a little ship.
Because you must remember, disciples used to wear multiple coats. So Peter took out of the coat he wear and covered Christ. That's what he's saying there. So because Peter covered Christ doesn't mean that Peter himself is naked. No. But he covered Christ with some of the coats he wear, with some of the mantle that he put around him. I have taught that unto us under dress code. Verse 14.
Verse 14. This is now the third time that Christ showed himself to his disciples.
What the Bible said, amen.
Third time that Christ showed himself to his disciples.
So after Christ resurrected, this is his third time that Christ showed himself to the disciples, and they could not recognize him because he came in a different appearance to try their faith. Yes, read on.
Now this is the third time that Christ showed himself to his disciples. After that, what of the men? After that, he was raising from
After that, he was risen. So my key point is to show you that all these things happen after Christ has risen from the dead. I hope you are following. That's my key word here. So pastors need to go and work. And if they are going to work, they must keep Sabbath, not Sunday. And they must keep the festivals. They must start with the Sabbath and correct the people, change from their wickedness and their false doctrine, telling people to go to first day of the week, to go and honor as a day of repose, to honor the Most High's day of rest of the work of his hands. The day that the Most High consecrated out of the 7 days of the week to honor his work and to praise his work, okay, is the Sabbath day. Sunday is not the 7th day. Sunday is the first day of the week. I hope you are following. All right. So pastor must start with that first for their wisdom to increase and to give people the right direction towards the Most High God. I hope you are following. All right. Matthew 6 verse 1.
Book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your harms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward for your Father which is in heaven.
So what is Christ saying there? Christ said that take heed that you do not your alms before men. Another for alms is what? Another for alms is what? Rendering help, Abi, or giving to somebody. That also. What manner of alms is this? What manner of giving is this one? What manner of giving is this according to the law? That's a free will offering. The things that you give willingly, you don't show it to people. So Christ is educating the children of Israel concerning the free will offering. If you are talking about giving, you're giving of the compulsory offering. People will see it. Not only will they see it, you must make it known because it's compulsory. Even the free will offering, people will see what you are giving. So when Christ says you must not let your arm be seen of people, it's not talking about the visibility of it. What Christ is saying is that look, when you give, don't sound an alarm that I've given something to somebody. That's what Christ is saying here. But visibility wise, you understand what I'm saying? Visibility wise, both the free will offering and the compulsory offering, people will see what you are giving. Because if you see a beggar on the road, I want to give him food to eat. Who will not see the food you are giving him? I will see the food you are giving him. But you must not let your friend know that I gave a beggar food to eat. That's what Christ is saying here. This is a free will offering that you give. Read.
Take it that ye do not your harms before men.
Yes.
To be seen of them. Otherwise, you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Verse 2. Therefore, when thou doest thy harms, do not sound a trumpet before thee.
Exactly, read on.
As the hypocrites do in the synagogue.
Exactly, as the hypocrites do in the synagogue, when they give the free will offering to the poor and to the needy, according to the law. Yes.
As the hypocrites do in the synagogue, yes. And in the streets.
And in the streets. And in the where?
And in the streets.
And in the where?
And in the streets.
And in the where?
And in the streets.
And in the streets. Exactly. Because this is a free will offering Christ is teaching here, not the compulsory offering. It's a free will offering. The free will offering that the Most High speak about in Exodus 25 from verse 1 to 7. Read. Because the poor will not depart of the land. So you are, when it comes to free will, you give it at any time you want. There is no rule or commandment that says that you must give it on certain days. Not because it's not compulsory offering. It's a free will offering. Read.
That they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Verse 3. But when thou doest harm, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth.
That your arm may be in secret.
And thy Father,
yes,
we see in secret, himself shall reward thee openly.
Ecclesiastes 4 verse 1. Ecclesiastes 5. Verse 4 to 6. Let's go.
And when thou vowest a vow unto God.
And when thou vow a vow unto God, yes.
Defer not to pay it.
Defer not to pay it. Now remember, the main lesson is tithe and offering. I'm just going with the vow. Because some people might say, oh, what about the vow? Can we still pay the vow to this day? Okay, yes, you can pay the vow to this day. Okay, as for the tithings, what manner of tithings can we give? There is no manner of tithing you can give to this day for now until Christ return again. Then all the commandments and the ordinances concerning the tithings will be given, including the compulsory offering will be given. So for now, what is only applicable for now, according to prophecy, is the free will offering and the vows. I hope you are following. All right, let's go. Let's deal with the vows here.
That's all.
When thou vow a vow unto God, yes.
Defer not to pay it.
Defer not to pay it, yes.
For he had no pleasure in fools.
For he is the Most High God, had no pleasure in fools. Fools one that lack understanding, yes. Towards the spirituality.
Pay that which thou hast vowed.
Pay that which you have vowed. God did not force you. Pay that which you have vowed with the Most High God. Of any form of vowing, you vow with the Most High God. Vowing of what? Vowing that if God do this thing for me, I will do this to them. I will do this. If God add this thing to me, if God give me this thing, I will do this. That is a vow between you and the Most High God. God did not force you. It come out of your own mouth. That is what vow represents. So when you make a vow with the Most High God, you must pay it. It has not become compulsory between you and the Most High. But in the initial stage, it's not compulsory. But once you utter it before the Most High, you must complete it. That vow is not forever. That vow can be for a few months. That vow can be for 1 week. That vow can be for 2 years. But you must complete your vow. And if that vow can be forever, you must complete it. I hope you are following. Because some people make vow in their foolishness. Therefore, that vow must be revisited. Because some of us made vow not according to knowledge. So therefore, those vows must change according to knowledge. I hope you are following. Some people make vow not knowing the manner of vow they were making because they don't have understanding of the law and the prophet. I hope you are following. So once this truth is not revealed to them, so they know what manner of vow they are making. Nevertheless, vow must come from you, not the Most High. God don't set the standard of vow. You set this. You set the standard. God will follow it up. But your vow must be in accordance to the Most High's word. But you must set the standard, and God will follow it up, and God will keep it because the vow is synonymous to a covenant. And God's a covenant keeping Father. So when you make covenant and that covenant is lawful, God will accept the covenant. And you must complete that covenant. If it's 1 week, if it's 1 day, if it's 1 month, if it's 1 year, if it's forever, you must complete it. I hope you are following. This is the law of vow. Go on.
When thou hast a vow unto God,
Yes.
defer not to pay it.
Defer not to pay it or fulfill that pledge. Yes.
For he had no pleasure.
For God no have pleasure in those that lack wisdom. Yes.
Pay that which thou hast vowed.
Pay that which you have vowed. It's not about necessary money. No. But fulfill which you have vowed with the Most High. That is the paying. Complete your vow. That is the paying. It's not about money. No. Read.
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Better is it
that thou should not vow, because the standard come from you. So better is it that you should not. If you don't open your mouth to vow with the Most High God, there is no covenant between you and the Most High God. Either a day, a week, a month, a year, or forever. So God will not request it from you of your own part of the vow. So the Bible says, better is it that thou should not vow,
that thou should
than that thou should vow and not pay. The prayer is not necessarily referring to money. No, it's referring to the things that you commit to do and to expect from the Most High God. That is the paying there. It's not necessarily money. It can be money, but it's not necessarily money here. Read.
Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Suffer not thy mouth.
The word suffer there means allow. Allow not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin. The sin, what is sin? Transgression of the law. Because your vowing must be in accordance to the Most High's law or word. Like I said earlier on. It must be in wisdom. You must understand what you are vowing. To open your mouth and vow. Then once you open your mouth to vow, God will not follow it up. But the standard come from you. Read.
Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
To cause your flesh to sin. Yes.
Neither say thou before the angels.
Neither say before the angel, because every angel is appointed to every man. You can find your understanding in the book of Vision of Paul, chapter 7. And also in the book of Matthew 18, from verse 10. Read.
Neither say thou before the angels. That it was an error.
Neither say before the angel that is appointed over you that is an error, because the angel, why Ecclesiastes, Solomon is making mention of angel, is because angels give reports to the Most High God. Every angel assigned to every man must give reports concerning the souls that they are appointed to. Hope you are following. That's why he says, say not before the angel, it is an error. That's why Christ said in Matthew 18 verse 10, do not offend any of these little ones that believe in me, because I tell you, their angel do always behold the face of my Father in heaven. Yes, the angel of every soul that believe in the Most High God always behold the face of the Most High God, because they come every single time to give reports. Hope you are following. So therefore they behold the face of the Most High God in giving their reports. So don't offend those that preach the true gospel to you for your own salvation. That account is true. Every angel is appointed to every man. One angel per man. Let's go.
Neither say thou before the angel.
Neither say thou before the angel.
That is an error.
Don't say before the angel that gives a report concerning you to the Most High God is an error.
Wherefore God be angry.
Exactly. Wherefore should God be angry at your speech? Because the angel will take your voice and give send it to the Most High God. That's what Solomon says in Ecclesiastes chapter 10 from verse 20. Curse not the king, no, and curse not the rich in your bedchamber. He said, for the bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. That which hath wings is not bird. That which hath wings like a bird is what? Angels. Because every angel is appointed to every man. Solomon in that part speaking in parables. Because birds don't understand man's language, do they? Does birds understand your English? So what does Solomon mean that and that which hath wings shall tell the matter? Because that which hath wings that will tell the matter of what you say in your secret chamber or your secret place, because the chamber represents place, or in your secret wherever you are. That bird there is the angels that will give the report to the Most High God. So I'm not making anything up here. He said, I said not before the angel that is an error. He says it's the same Solomon speaking here. This is chapter 5. That one is chapter 10. Read.
Wherefore should God be angry at that?
Wherefore should God be angry at your word? Because the angel will carry the word and tell the Most High God that is appointed over you concerning the vow you make, and yet you're not fulfilling your part of the vow. Because angels too are working to give their own report. Because if the angel knew what you say and refused to give the report, even though the Most High knows what the angel will report, but yet the angel must still give the report nevertheless. So if the angel refused to give the report before the Most High God, because the angel knew that you made prayer to the Most High God concerning the vow, and his duty, because one angel means messenger, and he came as a messenger appointed to that soul, and he refused to deliver his report, because every messenger must give the report to his master, not be so. Exactly. Read.
And wherefore should God be angry at thy voice?
Yes.
And destroy the work of thy hand.
And do what?
And destroy the works of thy hand.
And destroy the what?
Works of thy hand.
And destroy the works of your hand, because you lack wisdom concerning the law of vow. I shall make this a separate lesson. But the reason why I'm educating on vow, because some people might ask the question, what about the vow? Or is it still lawful to this day? Deuteronomy 23 verse 21, let's go.
When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
So when you yourself take it upon yourself to vow your vow, you set the standard yourself. What did the Bible say?
Thou shalt not slack to pay it.
You must not slack to pay that thing that which you have vowed. You must fulfill your vow, yes?
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee.
Exactly. For the Lord your God will surely require it of thee. So the vow and the freewill offerings of the man of Exodus 25, verse 1 to 7, shall still continue to this day, according to prophecy. Because everything that is free will is still existing now. Read that which. Verse 23.
That which is gone out of their lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
Yes.
Even a free will offering.
Even a free will offering, yes.
According as thou hast vowed.
According as you have vowed of anything you choose to do and commit with the Most High God. Of any requirement that you desire. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be bronze, it could be anything, it could be man, it could be anything of a free will that you choose to give in return or do. They are all categorized as free will offering. Read.
Which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
Which you has promised with your mouth. So therefore you must fulfill it. Is that understood? Let's read 2 Peter 2 verse 1.
Okay, the book of 2 Peter 2 verse 1. Mm-hmm. But there were false prophets.
But there were what are the men?
But there were false prophets.
But there were false prophets, yes.
Also among the people.
Also amongst the people of the children of Israel. Remember Christ said that it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. So even among the disciples, there will be those that will still do extorting, not follow the principles of Christ. Seeing that the apostles, after Christ's death and resurrection, they were still walking. And they thought, some of them were fishermen, some of them were tent makers, and so on and so forth, because the Bible does not tell you everything. Because it's a summary of events. I hope you are following. So Peter is saying that, look, there will still be among, because all these apostles are prophets. But there were false prophets, also among the people, yes.
Even as there shall be false teachers.
Even as there shall be false teachers. Do you see that? False teachers we are seeing this day, because they don't follow the law and the prophets according to Melchizedek. So therefore, concerning tithe and offering, they don't execute through judgment because they are partial in the Most High's word. That's the spirit of Belial is in them, not the Holy Spirit. Read. So there shall be false prophet among the people, to the extent that most people today don't even know that they are of the nation of Israel. How much was the transgression? People today don't even know that of the seed of Israel. This is how far sin has increased. Do you not even expect them to teach tithe and offering according to the law and the prophets? They won't know it. Don't say I know I'm an Israelite, but we are. You know, there's no but. You know that you're Israelites. Ask yourself a question: Why is Israel suffering today? But you know that you're Israelite. So now, if you vet the scripture, you now know that the reason why Israel are suffering today, and that you know that you're Israelite, because they transgress the Most High commandments. So what you must do is go back, keep the commandment. People say you know, but you don't know. I know I'm an Israelite. We know that the Igbos are Israelites. We know that the Yorubas are Israelites. You know you don't know. Because if you know, then you will know why Israel is suffering to this day. Then you will go back and keep the commandments. Because God put a curse upon Israel. If you break my commandments, I will put nation over you. As you are seeing this day. Read.
But there were false prophets among the people.
Yes.
Even as there shall be false teachers among you.
Even as there shall be false teachers among teachers in plural. As we are seeing this day. Because they don't know Christ. So therefore, in tithes and offering, they can never understand the doctrine. Because Christ comes with the volume of the book. And if you are doing the volume of the book, you must deal with the law and the prophet. Don't be so. The Bible tells you that the testimony of Christ is the spirit of prophecy. So if you are dealing with the testament of Christ, there is no such thing called Old and New Testament. Testament is testament. Christ is the testament. Or for that so-called Old or New, there's no Old or New. God don't change. God said in Malachi 3 verse 6, I change not. Once you are dealing with Christ, you are dealing with the spirit of prophecy. That's what the book of Revelation 19 verse 10 says. Old and New was established to deceive people by the same oppressors, the Romans, the Roman Catholics. They are behind it. There's no such thing called Old and New Testament. Christ is the testament. It's one testament. One. The Most High is one. One testament. There's no difference. Things are happening or events are happening because of sin. So when sin comes, God will not deliver prophecy concerning events that will be hereafter, which they are calling New Testament. No such thing called New Testament. Just follow prophecy and you will get it. Read.
Who privately shall bring in damnable?
Who privilege shall bring in damnable heresy against the Most High? Read.
Even denying the Lord that brought them.
Yes.
And bring upon themselves.
And bring them upon themselves swift destruction. Now watch this. Peter will give you the category of all these false prophets and false teachers in relation to tithes and offering, because they don't follow Christ in truth. Read.
And many shall follow
and many shall follow their pernicious ways. Yes.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall.
By reason of whom the way of truth shall be even spoken of, as we are seeing this day. Many shall follow them. Many are called, but few are choosing. Because the choosing are the Israelites who will follow this foolish and false and vain doctrine of pastors of today. That's why I say God is angry at the pastors and the so-called shepherds of today. Read.
And through covetousness shall they.
And through what?
And through covetousness.
So by these pastors, false pastors and false prophets, they will hide the truth. Through what?
Covetousness.
Through what, amen?
Covetousness.
Through covetousness. Tell me something. Is that not happening today? God is giving people a sign they cannot see with their eyes. Through covetousness, they want to take what you, because the word covetousness from what covet. Covet means the thing that you have, I want to have it. Pastor will tell you that food that is yours, go and bring it. That's money that is your account, go and bring it. Because they have their own in surplus, but they are still coveting for the one that you have. God giving people sign, but they cannot see. They still go like goats, prepare for the slaughter, and go and meeting those pastors to kill them. And that's what the Most High said. If they blind, lead the blind, what will happen? Let's say they find the ditch. Read, Son of Man.
And through covetousness shall they with
so through covetousness or coveting, will they do what?
Shall they with vain words?
Shall they with vain words, with tricky words? Fair means unsincere. With unsincere, they will trick the word. They'll go and plant the doctrine or the message. They'll twist the scripture to fit in their doctrine, to read from you. As you are seeing this day, these are your false prophets and your false teachers. Read, Son of Man.
Shall they with vain words
Shall they with vain words do what?
Make merchandise of.
They will make merchandise from you, business, merchandising in all kinds of ways. Go and bring yam, go and bring rice, go and bring potato, go and bring goat and chicken. All kinds of requirements. Some of them will even tell you, go and bring your land. Go and bring land, go and bring house. That's why he says merchandise. They will demand various aspects of business from you to make money from you with vain words. They will trick the world. Now begin to go into scripture and pull out things they don't even understand. Read.
Whose judgment now for a long time linger not, and the damnation slumbereth not. For if God spare not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and deliver them into chains of darkness.
Yes.
To be reserved unto judgment.
Yes.
And spare not the old word.
And do what?
And spare not the old
and spare not the old word of the same transgression. If God did not spare the angels and spare the old word before Noah's time, because the people now are doing the same thing. That's what Peter is saying here. Read.
And spare not the old word, but save Noah.
But save Noah, the 8 persons, yes. Noah and his children and his family, yes.
A preacher of righteousness.
A preacher of righteousness. Righteousness. Christ is the righteousness of the Most High God, the right hand man. Okay, Christ is the strength of the Most High, the strength of the law. Read.
A preacher of righteousness.
Yes.
Bringing in
the flood upon the word of ungodly, yes. Because these are a word of ungodly. That's why God brought the flood upon them. Because the same mistake before the flood, they are doing it to this day. And they are stubborn, stiff neck, and fall forward to do that transgression in their pride. And you see, in that pride and in that foolishness, lack of wisdom, God will not destroy them. Watch this, see. I'm not making anything up here. How I wish those that are dead, people can go and meet them and how it feels down there. How I wish God can show them the vision of that region there. That in that region it's not pleasant. Read.
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes.
into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
Exactly. So God used them as an example of those that choose to break his commandments. God will not destroy them in like manner. Jeremiah 23 verse 1. That's why I say in verse 7, and deliver just Lord, verse with the filthy conversation of the wicked. That's what we see in all these days. All these things your theologians are teaching concerning tithe and offering is full of wickedness. It's a wicked conversation they are relating to the children of Israel, to extort from them with vain words. Jeremiah 23 verse 1.
Woe be unto pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of
What the
my
Bible says, amen.
Woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my
So the Bible says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, yes.
said the Lord.
Said the Lord, read on.
Therefore, thus says the Lord God of Israel,
Therefore, thus says the Lord God of Israel,
against the pastors
against the pastors, yes,
that feed my people,
that feed my people, that teach them, yes.
you have scattered my flock.
You have scattered my flock because you preach to them unrighteous things, things that are not lawful, read on.
You have scattered my flock.
You have scattered my flock,
Driving them away.
and driving them away from me, yes.
I have not visited
And
them.
you have not visited them with truth. You claim you know the truth and you keep it. You have not shared the truth to my people. God said, look, I will visit you. Read.
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of what?
Of your doing.
Of your doing, says who?
Says the Lord.
Says who?
Says the Lord.
Says who?
Says the Lord.
It's not says me, oh. It says the Most High God. That thing that they are teaching you, don't keep the law. Time will tell. Read.
I will gather the remnant of my flock out of
Exactly. God said, I will gather the remnant. Those that do not follow those wicked doctrine of the pastors and the false prophets that Peter is addressing. I will just do what? Gather the remnant. Remnant means few. So it's only few that will make it. That's why Christ said many are called, few are chosen. So I will just take I'm not making anything up. If people want, make mockery of my word, laugh at my word, time will tell. Not be so, time will tell. Once you understand prophecy, you will not be destroyed. Son of man.
I will gather the remnant of
I will gather the remnant, because these are remnant that strive and contend with those pastors and false prophets that challenge them, that go and seek to, they're hungry. They don't care about carnal things. Their first goal is to strive for the kingdom. Then now, those things will not be able to tell if the most I want to. These are those that their forehead is strong. They don't send you. They don't shake. Read, son of man.
I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries where I have driven thee. I will bring them in.
God said, I will gather the remnants of the flock out of all the countries, because Israel is still throughout the four winds of the earth. So throughout the four winds of the earth, only a few will be taken from the remnant of the children of Israel. Throughout the whole world, only a few, wherever Israel are to this day, will be selected for the kingdom. I'm not making anything up here. Follow prophecy and you'll be fine. Go to those that understand it. It must not be me. Read.
I will bring them again to their fold.
I will bring them again to their fold. And they shall be fruitful. And Israel is not in the fold, are they? Is Israel in the fold? They're not in the fold. Because what Jeremiah is saying is going back to Ezekiel 37 concerning the valley of the dry bone, where Israel will no longer be two stick, but one stick as one kingdom again. From the days of Nebuchadnezzar and Salmanassar, Israel has been scattered into two kingdoms. So when Christ comes, Christ will not do gather the children of Israel from the four winds of the earth. So Israel will not be what? One kingdom or one stick in the Most High's hand. Hope you're following. That's what Jeremiah is saying here. Because the prophets and the teachers make the children of Israel to be scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. That's the problem. Read, son of man. And I'll do what?
And I'll set us.
So now listen. When Christ has gathered the children of Israel, those choosing, those remnants from the four winds of the earth, okay, and they be in their land again, Israel now do what? Increase and be fruitful and multiply. I taught us this lesson under marriage at the resurrection. Israel will still marry at the resurrection. People don't understand prophecy. That's the issue. That's why he said, and look, when I gather them from the four winds of the earth, isn't that the resurrection? That is the resurrection. And prophecy is saying here that I will multiply them. What is multiplying? Meaning that they will still marry and born children. So resurrection is not limited to marry or giving birth to children. People don't understand things. That is the problem. Because their pastor is the problem. Now listen very carefully. When the Most High has gathered the children of Israel, they become fruitful and multiply. Christ has come again the second time. See what will now happen. Read.
And I will set up shepherds over them.
The Most High said, I will set up shepherds over them. That goes back to Revelations 5, where those elders says, and we shall be kings and priests on the earth, and we shall do what? Reign all over the earth. Not be so. That's why you see in Exodus 19 verse 6, God told Moses to tell the children of Israel that they shall be unto him a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Not be so. Exactly. Read.
And I will set up shepherds over them. We shall feed them.
We shall feed them, because those shepherds begin from now. Now when I say begin from now, I mean it's come back in our time. But they begin for a very long time, during Christ's time. Read.
And they shall fear no more.
And they shall fear no more, the children of Israel.
Not be dismayed.
Not be dismayed.
Neither shall they be lacking.
Neither shall they be lacking anything that they want. We are still lacking to this day because of sin. So Israel should go back to the commandments and free the pledge, and then the true prosperity that belongs to them will be given to them with ease. Any question? Any question? So if there be no question, tithe and offering, according to Melchizedek, come to an end. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
All right. The King James Version, the book of Revelations 22, verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come out quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter into the gates, into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. And the spirit and the brass say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. The grace of Yeshua the Anointed be with you all. And we all say, so be it. Come Yeshua. All right. Ka. Tabarat. Wahalo. Kadash. Haya. Shamka. Ahaya. One Lord. Hawalamjam. One Lord. Hawalamjam. Bahashem. Yashaya. Aisha. Shamayam. Waharataza. Alashadia. Barakata. Tawana. So be it. Mighty men, daughters of Zion, you ready? Jacob is one. Choose that one, shadow one.